We did it!
Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Iraq's a crappy little country. Smells like the mustache on his face. Just get rid of that. You're in drinking chubby and blow up the whole goddamn place. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. One time. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker. Saddam Hussein's a motherfucker.
10:01 at 560 WQM. We got him. Did you notice that we got him?
Yeah.
We got him. Anyway, the market is going up there. There's Bob Pisani's got a big smile on his puss, and you got 4 more years of George W. Bush. I hate to say that, but I think they might as well call off the election, which is what a lot of people like to do anyway.
Yes.
Okay, before we get into any of that, and nice going, Lynn. Lynn Samuels on her website today has got a National Security Archive picture and article, and they showed it on the CBC yesterday, but of course the American ass-licking media won't show it. There's that old file footage of Rumsfeld shaking hands with Saddam Hussein back in 1983, and they showed the whole background around that. Maybe they did somewhere in the U.S. because you can't watch them all the time at the same time, especially with all that football. How about them Patriots?
Oh!
Yes.
That was like a walkover. They could have scored 100 points in that game against the little girls team. And I hear these people calling Joe this morning. Oh, brother. Well, they're trying to talk themselves into it, is what it sounds like to me. They're trying to talk themselves like I said last week, you can't talk yourself into winning a game in any event. You have to go out and do it. But they're like trying to talk themselves into some kind of fantasy reality.
But they're honoring the Marx Brothers.
It's kind of like those people, including me, who've been trying to talk myself into believing that we're going to beat Bush next year. No chance. These people are playing the ignorant American public like a violin, with the help of the media. Anyway, here's the poll result from Friday. A lot of votes. Which show business figure gives you the biggest pain in the ass, we asked?
Rectum.
Rush Limbaugh, who was the late addition, by the way, he passed them all like they were laying in a prone position. He popped them right on by. He's still popping them. Rush, 411 votes. Michael Jackson, 208. It looks like this is the week for Michael, by the way, that they're going to make the charges known. Rosie O'Donnell, 193. Ann Coulter, 138. Good choice for number 4. J-Lo, 92. Dr. Phil, bald-headed geek, 81. Oh, there's Colin Powell.
About that, but
talking about his prostate surgery. Deion Sanders, 66. Charlton Heston, 41. Oprah Winfrey, 39. Barbara Streisand, cross-eyed bitch, 39. I don't know anybody who likes Barbara Streisand except a few fruitcakes. Dennis Miller, 37. Whitney Houston, 35. Bill Maher, 28. Excellent choice. Paris Hilton, 27. Nancy Grace, 24. Should have done better than that. Ben Affleck, 19. Justin Tinkerbell, 19. I see a lot of similarities there. Ellen DeGeneres, 18. Russell Crowe, 11. Nicole Kidman, 10. Jerry Lewis, hey lady, 8. Robert Downey Jr., 8. Liz Taylor and Jessica Simpson, 8 apiece. Mel Gibson, 7. Keanu Reeves, 6. Jack Nicholson, 5. How could anybody not like Jack Nicholson? Doesn't that bother you? Isn't that disturbing?
a little bit.
You don't like him that much?
No, I like Jack Nicholson a lot.
Then why doesn't it bother you? You should say
it bothers me a little bit. It's not something
it bothers you a lot. Almost as much as the fact that Joe Rose ain't going to be doing 8 to 10. Julia Roberts, 5, and Liza Minnelli, 5 out of 1,598. If I waited another second or two, we'd have had 1,600 votes on a weekend poll right in the middle of the holidays. Not too bad. So anyway, the rumors about, I don't want to say because we got the beast this week because George is on vacation. I don't want to say anything about where the rumors are coming from because that would be bad for your future employment prospects at QAM. But nevertheless, we have a lot of rumors because somebody's just a little waddling fat yent who can't control himself, and we like that. That's one of the things we do like about the beast, is the fact that he's got a big mouth. Small penis, big mouth. Matter of fact, yesterday morning was shocking to me. I woke up and there were 2 inches, which many of us have every day we wake up with 2 inches. No, seriously, there was 2 inches of snow on the ground. And I thought, holy crap, look at that. Most of it's gone now. And then I went into the living room and I waddled in there and turned on the TV and we got him. We got him. And I thought, what the hell could happen next? You know, it's one of those days when maybe I bet you the Patriots are going to kick some ass again today. Oh! And they did that, too. How do you like that?
We did it!
Yeah.
We did it!
Yeah! We got them. Ladies and gentlemen, we got them. Anyway, so there's the results of the poll. Here's today's poll. I'm going to get right to it. I'm not going to beat around the bush. And I know what I'm going to get all week long, and that's fine. I'm prepared for it. I'm going to tell you right now, there were only two of the Democrats yesterday had the balls to to give the correct answer. And that was Al Sharpton and Wesley Clark. The rest of them full of crap. Especially Dick Gebhardt. What an asshole he is. Dick Gebhardt comes on yesterday, and he says, well, you know, if they're asking him about the political implications of capturing Saddam. And he says, well, you know, we have to be honest about this. If the administration can bring this all to a successful conclusion in Iraq and quash Al-Qaeda, and maybe we ought to just be ready for another 4 years of George W. Bush and tip our hat to him. I'm thinking, what the hell are you doing? Like, they're like forfeiting the game before it started. You jackass Dick Gebhardt. Man. But the only ones that had the balls to tell it like it was were Al Sharpton. See, I can't stand Al Sharpton, but the fact of the matter is he says all the right things most of the time, and he's got a great sense of humor. Do you despise Al Sharpton as much as most?
I think he's funny.
Yeah. No, but he had the balls to say it exactly right, that this was the wrong war and the wrong guy, and had nothing to do with 9/11, and we ought to have been concentrating on the fight on terrorism and about Al-Qaeda and where the hell's Osama, which is exactly what Wesley Clark said, too. While Howard Dean and all the other ones were waffling and equivocating, and this is not a day for criticism, and we have to tip our hat to the troops and to President Bush. And I'm thinking to myself, why don't you guys just, like Gebhardt, go ahead and forfeit right now? You haven't got a Chinaman's chance, man, unless something cataclysmic happens in the next 11 months. Democratic Party has got two chances, none and much less than none. Oh, you shouldn't say that, Neil. Don't be a defeated. I'm just telling you. That's the honest truth. The latest poll that was taken, this is before they captured Saddam over the weekend. Bush 52 and Dean 41%. If the election were right now, today, 52 to 41. Here's today's poll. And I started to say, I know what I'm going to be getting all week long. Well, see, Neil, you were wrong, and what do you have to say now? I have to say just the same thing Al Sharpton and Wesley Clark said yesterday. The same thing I've always been saying. Was it worth sacrificing all the lives of the hundreds of troops, Allied troops that have died?
No.
Of course not. Not to mention the thousands of Iraqi people. Was it worth it? Especially when you take a look. Go to Lynn Samuels' website if you want. I'm not going to put it in ours. Go to lynnsamuels.com. And there's the picture and the whole. I'm going to read the article. The National Security Archive, Rumsfeld shaking Saddam's hand. See, this is what the U.S. does all the time, but they can get away with it because most Americans know nothing about history whatsoever. They know squat. So they can keep getting away with it over and over and over again. He was our guy. He was our butcher. It's like all the old Jews at Cemetery Village and the other condos. They like their butcher. Maybe next condo people, their butcher ain't such a good guy, but they like their butcher, and that's the way the U.S. is. As long as he's doing our bidding, and as long as we can prop him up for a purpose, we'll arm him, just like all the chemical weapons that we gave him, so he can gas the Iranians. Now, the fact that he gassed his own people with it, that was just a byproduct of his being a little bit crazy. But that's just the way it goes. We've just turned the other cheek. We'll get to that. Poll for today. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? First choice. That's, by the way, I already faxed this to Eric B. so he can take the pressure off of you, because I know you're under a lot of stress.
Tons.
That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush. That's the first choice. Second choice, no matter the cost, it was well worth it. Third choice, the whole invasion was bogus, based on lies. Fourth, it's fine, but where's Osama? And last choice, fry the bastard on Channel 7.
Oh!
What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush. No matter the cost, it was well worth it. The whole invasion was bogus, based on lies. It's fine, but where's Osama, you mama? Or Fry the Bastard on Channel 7. I was also going to put maybe Fry the Bastard on the Rick Sanchez show, which is on Channel 6. Because he desperately needs help to stay on the air. That could goose up his ratings a little bit, don't you think?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to fry Saddam right on the air on the Rick Sanchez show on Channel 6. Speaking of Channel 6, evidently the rumor mill has it. Am I not supposed to say this on the air or what?
Say what?
Oh. The rumor mill has it that Channel 6 isn't really happy with Joe Rose doing 8 to 10 on QM in the morning. See, it's still not a done deal. I know that must come as a shock to everybody in the audience who wonders how long we can keep floundering and paying for Greg's unbelievable mistakes that he just keeps making over and over and over again. Man. But I think it can go on forever, to be honest with you. I think it's like an endless cycle.
We did have that big memo the other day.
But that said what?
The whole morning show position available.
Oh, yeah, that was a morning show opening. And, of course, Clarence said, oh, no, the law says anytime we have an opening, we have to post that. Well, of course, that's for 8 to 10 because Joe came in asking for too much money, which basically they should have given him a blank check and said, okay, just sign here. Fill in the amount and sign here and we'll sign it too. But no, not us. So evidently he highballed him with a really wild request, and they said, oh, wait, that's way too much, Joe, for putz like you. And on top of that, Channel 6 is real unhappy with him being on there 11 o'clock at night doing the sports and having to get up in the wee hours of the morning doing the show, as opposed to being real happy, which they should be because of the extra exposure they're getting from a guy that's on 5 days a week on a major market radio station. They should be ecstatic with that. But they're not. Because they're a bunch of hard asses over there. And what do you expect from a bunch of people that would put Tony Cigaretto on to do the news? Oh, sorry, Beast, I forgot he's one of your people. He's a UM person. A silly person. 12 minutes after 10, let me vote, okay? How do you like my first choice there? That's one small step for humanity and one giant political gain for George W. Bush. Don't you think that was fairly creative?
That was very nice. I voted.
Is that what you voted?
No.
Oh. What did you vote for?
It's fine, but where's Osama?
Where's Osama Yamama? And where's Mullah Bullah Omar? Where are the real terrorists? That's the question. This has nothing to do with terrorism. And now the American people, as confused as they were a few months ago, now they're going to say, aha, we got the guy behind all those terrorist things, behind 9/11. Duh. 33 votes on there already. What's your take on a capture of Saddam Hussein? It's fine, but where's Osama? 15. The whole invasion was bogus, based on lies. 10. That's one small step for humanity, one giant political leap for George W. Bush. 6. No matter what the cost, it was well worth it. 1. And Fry the Bastard on Channel 7. 1. With Spilky's Naray. I think that would be the ultimate punishment for Saddam Hussein, is to have Spilky's Naray, like, bop, 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 while he's sitting there in the chair waiting for them to pull the switch. Bop, 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 bop. He'd be begging for them to pull it. And the switch, too. My name is Saddam Hussein. We can negotiate. Don't shoot. That's what he said. You see that? And the thing that I found amusing, in a sick way, is they said, well, here's the guy that had all of those hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million of his own people killed and pretended to be so courageous. He had his own people dying for him. And I thought to myself, oh, that sounds familiar. 10:13 at 560 WQM. Brandy Shoes is still doing it for 25 years in South Florida, a quarter of a century. They've been smelling your feet. That's right, and even with a smile on their face, even those of you who have bad hygiene. They got all the top brands in the business: Rockports, Echoes, Mephisto, Timberland, Clark's, SAM, Florsheim, and lots more, no matter what kind of feet you got, whether they're big and fat like the Beast or little teeny and tiny and petite. They can fit you perfect. They got men's size 6 to 15, women's 5 to 12, and widths from the very narrow to the very big, fat, and wide. And with over 40,000 pair in stock in their 8,000 square foot mega store, you can bet Greg Reed's life on it that exactly what you're looking for in that style, in that size, is waiting to slap on your foot. At Brandy's, you'll find them at 1290 North Federal Highway in Pompano Beach, open daily, Monday through Saturday, 9 till 9, Sundays 10 to 5. And right now, like I said, Brandy's 25th anniversary, and part of it is great time to buy Florsheim shoes for you, because all this week, save 25% on all men's Florsheim style. Stop in the store or check out their website at brandysshoes.com.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
No.
Neil Rogers got.
The United States has no quarrel with the Iraqi people. Our quarrel is with Iraq's dictator and with his aggression. Iraq will not be permitted to annex Kuwait. It's just the way it's going to be.
We'd like to beat Saddam Hussein and hit him with a pie. Sit back and watch his head explode like a melon way too ripe. He tried to steal away Kuwait and beat the oil sheik. Let's put a gun up to his head and blow away this deed. I'd like to point Ben Gay down where Saddam ever gonna blow him away. Saddam Hussein.
10:18 at 560 WQM. Eric, if you're listening, maybe you can get that link off of Lynn Samuel's website. Donald Rumsfeld shakes 1983 shakes Hussein's hand, and we can put that on our website. Not that we don't want to get Lynn a lot of hits, but nevertheless, I think it needs to be on there because there's the picture. U.S. documents show embrace of Saddam Hussein in early 1980s despite chemical weapons, external aggression, and human rights abuses. Fear of Iraq collapse in Iran-Iraq war motivated Reagan administration support. U.S. goals were to access to oil. Oh, what a concept. That sound unusual to you? U.S. goals were access to oil, projection of power, and protection of allies. Rumsfeld failed to raise chemical weapons issue in personal meeting with Saddam Hussein. It sounds like the Taliban all over again. Our good friends that we gave $43 million to in May of 2001 because they stopped all that poppy production. This anti-drug administration. Nice going, Taliban. Here's $43 million. Spend it wisely. Spend it in good health. Sei gesund. And then a few months later, bada bing. And they hit us, and then we just told the world that they were really bad people. And the same here, you know. This is what's wrong with the world, is there are too many ignorant people out there. The masses are asses. Make no mistake about it. And this administration, man, plays them like a fiddle. They know exactly how to do it. Anyway, there's the picture. The National Security Archive at George Washington University on February 25th of this year published on the web a series of declassified U.S. documents detailing the U.S. embrace of Saddam Hussein in the early 1980s, including the renewal of diplomatic relations that have been suspended since 1967. The documents show that during this period of renewed U.S. support for Saddam, he had invaded his neighbor, Iran, had long-range nuclear aspirations that would probably include an eventual nuclear weapon capability, harbored known terrorists in Baghdad, abused the human rights of his citizens, and possessed and used chemical weapons on Iranians and his own people. The U.S. response was to renew ties, to provide intelligence and aid to ensure Iraq would not be defeated by Iran, and to send a high-level presidential envoy named Donald Rumsfeld to shake hands with Saddam December 20th, 1983, and there's the picture. The declassified documents posted today, meaning February 25th, include the briefing materials and diplomatic reporting on 2 Rumsfeld trips to Baghdad, reports on Iraqi chemical weapons use concurrent with the Reagan administration's decision to support Iraq, and decision directives signed by President Reagan that reveal these specific U.S. priorities for the region: preserving access to oil, expanding U.S. ability to project military power in the region, and protecting local allies from internal and external threats. The documents include a U.S. cable recording the December 20th, 1983 conversation between Rumsfeld and Saddam Hussein, although Rumsfeld said during a September 21st, 2002 CNN interview, in that visit I cautioned him about the use of chemical weapons, as a matter of fact, and discussed a host of other things. The document indicates there was no mention of chemical weapons. Rumsfeld did raise the issue in a subsequent meeting with Iraqi official Tariq Aziz. National Security Decision Directive 114 of November 26, 1983 that said U.S. policy toward the Iran-Iraq war, delineating U.S. priorities, the ability to project military force in the Persian Gulf and protect oil supplies without reference to chemical weapons or human rights concerns. Just like the Taliban, we didn't give a crap that they were treating the women like garbage, like 10th class citizens, or that the men had to wear their beards a certain length or off with their heads, or that they couldn't listen to the Rolling Stones. We didn't give a flying crap about that until after 9/11. Then all of a sudden, guess what? They're bad guys. They're Farbis and Agoyim.
No.
And it goes on here about the other things. U.S. and Iraqi consultations about Iran's 1984 draft resolution seeking UN Security Council condemnation of Iraq's chemical weapons use. Iraq conveyed several requests to the U.S. about the resolution, including its preference for a lower-level response and one that did not name any country in connection with chemical warfare. The final result complied with Iraq's request. It's just a beautiful thing. I will get it on our website. Everybody's got to read it. Not that anybody cares, because this is such an emotional thing. How many thousand times did we see?
About 30, man.
Yesterday, that picture, the unshaven, the checking for the lice and the other gnats in the hair, opening up, sticking that tongue depressor up his
rectum
and down his throat. That's what they should have done. Stuck it up his ass first and then stuck it down his throat. It's our butcher, baby, our guy. And now we decided, well, it wasn't. He was useful for something, and that was for a cosmetic. Let's all forget about all this other stuff and about the ties to Saudi Arabia. It's just amazing. It's like if you live in the middle of 2 houses and your neighbor on one side comes in and just smashes your house to smithereens, and so what you do is you go to the other neighbor on the other side who had nothing to do with it, and you attack him, and you start throwing eggs in his puss. You see what I'm saying? Doesn't make any sense. But don't confuse the public with that, because the media and the public, man, they're it's like a match made in purgatory. What a wedding. And we ought to be getting 80 million calls. We're going to do screenless again through the end of the year, so Josh doesn't have to be overworked in there. He's under a lot of stress.
He's really sick today, too.
Are you really?
He's coughing up a storm. He's sneezing.
Yeah, I'm hating life.
Oh, no.
It's a SARS.
In fact, when I come down there in January, everybody's going to have to go in quarantine for 10 days before I come in. I don't want to catch whatever you got. Can you believe that they actually had a meeting? Now, you're the Yenta in the building. Who else was in that meeting? Miguel was one of them. George Corso. When the SARS thing was going on here in Toronto, and I came back the first time in the summer, when I was June, I guess, and they actually had a meeting to decide whether they should require me to go into quarantine for 10 days before I came into the building for fear that I would infect them all with SARS. Oh, you're not going to say? Oh, were you in on it?
No, I wasn't on it.
Oh. 128 votes in just a matter of moments here. I knew we'd get a lot of response on this because, let's face it, only silly people are talking about ball games. Silly people are talking about cockery like that. We got to talk about Sodom, man. Sodomy. So I hear you're getting late on Thursday. Is that true?
I have a date later in the week.
Oh, Clarence is away. 133 votes. What's your take on the capture of Saddam? I wish the audience could have heard you giggling like a little girl when you were in there with Clarence this morning. Man, he must have been tickling your fancy. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? It's fine, but where's Osama? 49. The whole invasion was bogus based on lies. 48.
Absolutely correct, sir.
That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush. 16. Fry the bastard on Channel 7. 13, and no matter the cost, it was well worth it. 7, 5%. Only 5%, so no matter what the cost, all of these lives, not just Americans, but everybody else, including the innocent people that we were supposedly saving. Well, the price of liberty is very high, like death. Give me liberty or give me death, so we gave them both. We gave them a little taste of each. 5670560. The good news is Saddam has given up comrades, say the U.S. It's amazing. In the beginning, they said he was cooperating, was talking up a storm. He was singing like a bird. He was singing pretty good, like the Humper always says. He was singing good. But then they said he's not saying a damn thing. But supposedly, he gave up some of his buddies, several top regime figures, and rebel cells and where they are, locations, etc., and so on. Then he decided maybe time to shut up until he gets a good meal. Hot dogs. He had $750,000 in cash. Oh, the beast must have been. Can you imagine? How would you like to be locked in a broom closet with a suitcase with $750,000 in cash and $100 U.S. bills, and all you can get are candy bars? I was going to say candy bars and hot dogs, but in your case, you might not mind. That's all he was eating. They had found all these candy bar wrappers and some hot dogs and stale rice, and that was it.
Yummy.
700. One thing I got to say, for all the talk about what a genius he wasn't too smart. I mean, he wasn't really having a disguise. He had the long beard and they were all frizzled up because he was running and hiding like every couple of days. He had how many of these places?
About 30, man.
30. They said he had about 30 of these holes around the country. Beast said he'd settle for one.
Just Josh's.
But at any rate, no, seriously, wouldn't you think he would have had like immediate plastic surgery or some kind of a disguise, something? A baseball cap,
some
glasses, maybe one of those Groucho glasses with a big nose, anything. Give it a shot.
A wig.
Nice wig would have been good. I know who you could have borrowed one or two from.
Absolutely.
1027 at 560, maybe a muskrat. Oh, and there were rats and mice in a hole with them and all kinds of vermin. 1027 at 560 WQM. Hey, it's that time of the year that a lot of people love, but some people are a little bit nervous about it because they hate the traffic and the crowded malls, the long register lines, the parking hassles, all the crazy shoppers. So make your gift giving a lot easier this year for you and the ones you love. A gift certificate from Dial a Mattress. Call them now toll free, 1-800-MATTRESS, and give a gift they'll be thanking you for night in and night out. Dial a Mattress has got gift certificates in any denomination, Lutheran, Protestant, Orthodox, and a new bed for the master bedroom makes a perfect gift you'll both enjoy for years. At Dial a Mattress, no phony promises, no bait and switch, just discount prices every day on the brand names you know, trust, and love, now including Stearns & Bananas Foster. Dial a Mattress has got the guaranteed lowest prices on Stearns & Foster anywheres. When you call Dial a Mattress at 1-800-MATTRESS, you still pick the day and time for delivery. Any 2-hour window, 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. when you're going to be home and it's convenient for you. And guess what? They really show up. Honest sales practices, fantastic service, everyday low prices, same-day delivery, free setup and removal, easy to see. While Dollar Mattress is ranked the best in the world in customer satisfaction, even the Beast is laying his fat ass on a Dollar Mattress right now, a King Coil, I think. Isn't that it?
It's coming today, actually.
Oh, it's coming today. He isn't, but it is. Call him toll-free at 1-800-MATTRESS, 1-800-MATTRES, or online it's mattress.com. Happy holidays from all your good, close personal paisans at Dollar Mattress.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560, QAM.
N-T-A-Y-S-U-C-K-S.
Bomb, 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 Saddam. Bomb, 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 bomb. Let's bomb Saddam. Make him cry for his bomb. Let's make him real, real gone. Hussein is an a-hole. Let's turn him into charcoal. Bomb Saddam. Bomb, 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 Saddam. Bomb, 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 Hussein. Bomb, 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 bomb. Let's bomb Hussein. Tired of you. His pappy didn't do it, so it's way overdue. Bomb Saddam. Let it bomb Saddam. Saddam is an a-hole. Let's turn him into charcoal. Bomb Saddam. All right.
10:33 at 560 WQAM. Happy Monday to you. I was going to say, boy, that Eric sure don't waste any time. He's a genius. And he does have the picture on there on our website. It's the lead thing. He's got that big picture of Rumsfeld firmly grasping Saddam's hand. And it's got the caption underneath it, U.S. documents show embrace of Saddam Hussein, yada, yada, yada. And then I clicked on the link. It doesn't go anywhere yet, but I'm sure he's working feverishly on it. Aren't you, Eric? Because it doesn't really go to the rest. It doesn't go to the rest of the story. It just goes back where you were before. But I'm sure he's working on it right now, in addition to which probably 3 or 4 bologna sandwiches. You ought to get together with Eric and have like an eating session, Beast. You'd probably get along really well with him.
We could bond.
No, because that's why I'm surprised that you got so tight with somebody as skinny as Clarence.
You know, they say opposites attract.
Is that what it is? Because generally speaking, that's only for sexual purposes. So I guess it's for eating. You probably would rather hang out with Eric, Fat Rich, Josh Friedman.
No.
People like that.
No.
Okay, let's get some. Boy, I'll tell you one thing about that Lauryn Hill. I always said about Lauryn Hill she can't sing for her crap, but Lauryn Hill is now my favorite recording artist. You see what she did?
No, what happened?
U.S. hip-hop singer Lauryn Hill stunned leading members of the Roman Catholic Church when she accused them of moral corruption, exploitation, and abuse from the stage during a Christmas concert at the Vatican. All right. You go, girl. This is the best. Hill, 28, launched her diatribe in front of an audience of 7,500 guests at a packed Paul VI Hall, used by Pope John Paul II for indoor public audiences. I'm not here to celebrate like you the birth of Christ, but I'm here to ask you why you're not in mourning for his death in this place, Hill said, reading from a prepared statement as she came on stage for a performance as part of an all-star gala concert. Holy God has witnessed the corruption of your leadership, of the exploitation and abuses which are a minimum that can be said for the clergy, she added, calling on the hierarchy to repent. Stunned hierarchy in the front row of Saturday night's concert included one of the most senior figures in the church, Cardinal Camillo Ruini, who is head of the Italian Bishops' Conference. Cardinal Ruini. An aide to Ruini, Bishop Reno Fisichella, described the singer's speech as a rash outburst, an uneducated act showing lack of respect for the place she was a guest and for those who invited her. The Holy See has been widely accused of failing to respond adequately to a pedophile scandal involving priests, especially in the U.S., which we'll get to that Miami story in a bit. The U.S. Church has been under intense fire over the policy of some archdioceses of moving known child-abusing priests from parish to parish over decades. Hill, winner of 5 Grammy Awards, said she was not speaking as a representative of any religious organization. Italian press reports yesterday said her attack was unlikely to be included when the concert is broadcast on Italian television December 24th, Christmas Eve. I can't imagine why. Other artists performing at the event now in its 11th year included Ronan Keating, Khaled, Randy Crawford, Solomon Burke, Kelly Joyce, Polish singer Natalia Kukulska, and American gospel and Italian choirs. Lauryn Hill told him where to stick it. Nice going, girl, you go. Let me just click this thing one more time and see if it goes anywhere, if it just goes right back to, Yeah, it just goes right back to where it was. But I'm sure that Eric is working on that feverishly as we speak, don't you think? In between feedings?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, here's our first response to the capture of Saddam Hussein. Okay, you ready for this? This is a monumental moment in the history of WQAM. QAM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Can I think back just a couple of days, and I'd like to have your input on this, what I'm thinking?
My take?
Oh, exactly. Hey, when this stuff went down with Gore endorsing Dean, and he went up there, and his little hair was sticking down, and Gore was shouting at everybody how the war was such a bad idea. Is it too much of a coincidence that a day and a half later we got the guy, after the Republican Party said we now know who our enemy is, who we'll be going against in the election? I mean, it's just too creepy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It all just adds up.
You're saying there are no coincidences is what you're saying?
It just seems that maybe they just knew for a while what hole this guy was hiding in.
And maybe just to be on the safe side, next June when we start bringing all of our troops back home and we really put the Iraqis in charge and have all these bogus elections, and then maybe in October when we capture Osama bin Laden, it'll just be a coincidence.
Just a coinky-dink that we can hammer the Democrats and just put it to bed for good.
Right.
Just a coincidence. Maybe I'm just thinking this.
Just imagine all the money we can save now without having any more elections in the U.S.
Later,
have a great day, Pally. I'll see you at the border. I'll send a bus for you. I'll send a limo. Pick your ass up at the border. Oh, look at that. And they have it on CNN. Osama bin Laden. Next question mark, it says. Boy, votes are just pouring in on this. 210 and a half an hour. That is shocking. Could be record-breaking today. Maybe that's because the beast is with us. You think?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein?
Yes.
The whole invasion... oh, man. The whole invasion was bogus, based on lies, 75. It's fine, but where's Osama? 70. That's one small step for mankind and one giant political leap for George W. Bush, 36. Fry the bastard on Channel 7, 19. And no matter the cost, it was well worth it, 16, which I'm sure that those 16 are related to any of the servicemen and women who died, no matter the cost. In other words, as long as some other people died for it, or certainly not related to any of the Iraqi civilians who died, or were mutilated and amputated and all of these things. 16 people said that out of 224. 5670560. Is line 1 working or not? I just want to check. Yeah, it's working. Double checking. WQAM, hello.
Hey, I wanted to talk to Neil.
Speaking.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Isn't it a coincidence, I think, with this capture of Osama? Wasn't it Thursday of last week, the whole Halliburton controversy and all the shenanigans, and now all of a sudden Osama's been caught?
You know, that did come to my mind when I saw this, too. I thought, boy, just when things were starting to go really, really bad again, and they had all of this bad news about Halliburton gouging the public and gouging everybody that they could, and all this war profiteering that was going on. And now, all of a sudden, just by coincidence, we got this hot tip, and there he was.
Right. Now the headline is Saddam has been caught. Oh, thank thee, our Lord, our commander-in-chief, our commander-in-chimp. Please. Right. I think it's a little coincidental. I just think it's slightly coincidental. And the same day that this is being announced that he was captured, wasn't there another explosion and 17 people died?
Right.
So, I mean, yeah, he was...
You'll notice, by the way, how little we saw about that. We saw the smoke and the fumes going into the air, but as far as anything else about it, the rest of the day they were too busy showing us the picture again over and over again, the before and the after the shave picture.
Right. And I think I saw CNN had, which I'm very surprised that the U.S. government allowed it, but they actually interviewed some of the doctors that have been treating all these servicemen and women. And the horror stories, I mean, they didn't get into too much detail, but you could just tell that they were biting their tongue, that they wanted to say what they really thought, but they couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because everyone is, we're living under this Nazi regime here, and you can't speak because, you might be...
you might disappear and nobody might see you again anytime soon.
Exactly. But anyways, I'd like to put my two cents worth in. Democrats, please vote. And anybody that's on the fence, do not go with the Republicans. They do not care about you. And especially my friends down in Little Havana. They don't care about you, my friend.
Incredible.
Yeah, how come now we got Saddam? How come we don't have Fidel? Something to think about. Maybe that'll be next.
He's too close.
Not only that, he doesn't need to do that to get their votes. He's already got them locked up. Anyway, what did I tell you about? The good people are the fat people. And the fat people are the dead people. But anyway, the good people are the fat people because Eric, man, he hopped right on it. You see that? There's the picture, there's the link, there's the story. I think I'm gagging. I think the Beast is going to have to do the rest of the show.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, here's Comical Ali, the former Iraqi Minister of Information, with today's health update.
Good news! There is no such thing as SARS. You cowardly American infidels have nothing to fear. That's why leading health experts encourage all Americans to fly to Beijing, China, and lick the doorknobs of the restrooms at the local walk-in clinics. Also, a new study shows that smoking cigarettes is good for you. So smoke 'em if you got 'em, America. With today's health update, I'm Mohammed Saeed Al-Sahaf. May God roast your stomachs in hell.
Stay tuned to this station for more updates from Iraq's Minister of Information.
10:47 at 560 WQM. Happy Monday to you. The Mad Dog at 2. Then we got the Humper at 4 from PP Park, getting ready for that big big game tonight. What is that? Dolphins countdown to kickoff at 5 as we begin 4 hours of nonstop commercials. Got to jam them in there. And then the Panther game, to show you how important hockey is on this radio station. Panther game has been farmed out because they're certainly not going to preempt the Dolphins. You can bet your life on that. Farmed out to 1580. Is that surf?
Sure.
I think
it is a surf. You're right.
It's surf. WSRF. 1580 on the dial. I don't even know if the call-letters are the same no more. And of course, it's a station that nobody listens to. The Panthers and the Red Wings at Detroit tonight at whatever the hell time it's on. Panther preview and all of that stuff will be on 1580 on your AM dial.
By the
way,
of
course, if your dial ends like at about 1540, something like that, you won't be able to hear it.
By the way, a bit of a schedule change.
Oh, no.
Kim Bocamper will be out at Gate G for Hank from 4 to 5.
Where's the Humper?
I don't know. I was just told by my boyfriend Clarence that that would be the schedule.
Did he give you a little peck on the cheek on his way out?
We cuddled.
Little peck on the cheek? Kimba Bocamper, so we have a little late scratch here in the fourth race. Kim Bocamper at 4 o'clock. Well, it's only an hour anyway. The Humper, they're not going to bring in a big paid guy like the Humper for 1 hour. Are you kidding me? He's not going to waste his time for that. Even the gas was not worth wasting. So Kimba, who'll go on at any time because, let's face it, he's a pretty marginal. Good guy, though. 4 to 5, Kim Bocamper from the stadium at Gate G, as in good luck, you'll need it tonight. And then the Dolphin, all that other stuff. Let me say it again. You got the Red Wings and Panthers on 1580, the pregame at 7, a game time at 7:30, and then we got hours and hours and hours of, it's going to be really ugly stuff. Can you even begin to imagine?
No.
It's going to be really grotesque. I don't want to pick a score. Because you never know. You never know which team is going to show up. See, the thing with the Dolphins the last several years, I don't want to start talking sports on this day, but I will anyway. The thing that I keep thinking about is very often, all of those great starts, 3-0 and 4-0, they catch a lot of teams early in the season when other teams are off their game, like that Patriot opening game. It was against Buffalo, not Miami this year, but when they got walloped 31-0 by the Bills, and a lot of us were thinking, oh my God, what the hell happened? This is going to be a brutal season for New England. And come to find out, they're far and away the best. They're
just
awesome.
Lucky. They're just lucky.
No, but they wind up with a schedule situation where they catch teams when they're not, when they're way off their game, when they're playing like crap, or they're playing against little girls teams, or they catch teams that just forgot to show up that day, like Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. Didn't show up at all. And that's when and they give you that false sense of security like, man, they're really great. But Jay Fiedler is what he is, he's a rah-rah, sis-boom-bah kind of guy who tries very hard. He never stole a freight train. He doesn't eat trafe too often on the high holidays, and that's it. In fact, I think that the thing between Mo and Jay Fiedler is a Jew thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's what no question about that. If Brian Greasy came out tomorrow and said that he just converted, he was Jewish, all of a sudden he'd be the new hero. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Make no mistake about it. And by the way, Mo will not be on tomorrow. The coast is clear for those who hate him like poison like we all do. Because he sure as hell can't be broadcasting a Monday Night Football game and be on. So there's another schedule change for you.
Oh, caca.
Cross it out in,
all the crap you can unwrap.
In Braille. No Mo tomorrow. So it'll be Gildy solo. Just the way Gildy likes it. WQAM.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Neil.
Speaking.
Neil, hey, how you doing today?
Pretty good.
Hey, I just want to make a quick comment on the capture of Hussein.
Go right ahead.
It's amazing to hear the Democrats and the liberals who hate this country so much that
they hate this country because they don't agree with you. They hate this country.
You guys hate that Saddam was captured because you know it's good for Bush. You were wishing that he had some kind of
Wait a minute. When did anybody say we hate that he was captured? Who said that? Have you heard anybody say that?
Then you're talking about, well, you had the other caller, well, it seems real coincidence on the timing.
Did he say that he hated the fact that they captured Saddam Hussein?
And it's just like you
what do you, sir, I'm not going to talk to you. You're an asshole. Just screaming and screeching. See, a lot of us get the rap, if somebody disagrees with you, I'm prepared to give them like 5 minutes, but I'm not going to listen to somebody screaming and having a nervous breakdown, popping a zip right on the goddamn radio. Nobody said that. The guy's a miserable, murdering son of a bitch. He killed hundreds of thousands, maybe 1 million people. But the fact of the matter is, what you would never address, is he was our butcher. Even Jeff Greenfield, who's a mealy-mouthed nothing on Certainly Not News Network, just got through with a piece during our commercial break. And he kind of glossed over the part about the chemical. See, the reason that the chemical weapons thing is something they gloss over is because where do you think he got them from? Oh, not from the good old USA.
Yeah.
Sure. And it was okay as long as he was gassing the Iranians because we hated the Ayatollah. We were really pissed off and fired up after he took the hostages. And so we hated Iran. They're a bunch of fundamentalist lunatics. So Saddam was the more moderate of the evils. He was a good guy. He was our butcher. But you don't want to deal with that. In addition to which, he's got nothing to do with 9/11. The U.S. isn't one iota safer today than it was yesterday, or a Friday, or a week ago Sukkot. But don't confuse people like this last screaming hysterical lunatic with a fact, because he just makes it up as he goes along, putting words in people's mouths. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? 103 say the whole invasion was bogus based on lies. 100 say it's fine. But where's Osama? See, we're not saying there's anything wrong with it. I say they ought to, pluck out his eyebrows. They ought to pluck him apart piece by piece. Just pluck him. It's fine, but where's Osama? 100. That's one small step for humanity, one giant political leap for George W. Bush. 50. Fry the bastard on Channel 730, and no matter the cost, it was well worth it. 19. Out of 302 votes in much less than an hour. It is shocking. By the way, Tom Jick actually mentioned my name in an article. Can you believe that? Almost as shocking as the capture of Saddam. Left wing ready to take flight with talk radio. We'll get to it. But we want to get thousands and thousands of your calls, of your perspicacious comments. And you can be one of them bush lookers, but if you're going to be like the last guy and you want to try to outshout me, especially when I got a little scratch. Don't have the flu. Don't have a full-fledged cold, but I got a little scratch. A little hoarse. Like that. Like creme fraiche. A little hoarse. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. By the way, in case you didn't hear it, we got him. WQAM.
Hey, Neil, how are you?
I'm doing good.
Great. I think that last guy was there are no fags in the church guy, sounded just like him over the radio. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, we go into Iraq based on the premise of the weapons of mass destruction. I don't think we can police a world of murderous dictators. I mean, it's good that they caught him, but...
and by the way, he still says they didn't have any weapons of mass destruction, just like everybody else there said.
Of course, but the thing is, the cost of the American soldiers, I think, just one death is too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty much agreeing with you.
Okay.
Okay, and where's George? I miss him.
George is on vacation. Oh, this must be Teddy and Kendall.
No, this isn't Teddy and Kendall. This is Mike in South Miami-ish.
Okay. George is on vacation. He's okay. He'll be back.
Oh, no, George is great. Just sometimes the dosage is too much of George, but George is just perfect with you.
Okay, have a great day.
You too.
Well, George will be on all week next week all by himself because I'll be on vacation. I'm no fool, man. I know how to play that vacation game. See, if you play, you can take 1 week and you got Christmas Eve and Christmas Day and New Year's Eve and 2 weekends, and all of a sudden you got an 11-day vacation. Oh! Yeah, I know how to do it. And I taught the Humper, I taught the Mad Dog, and of course I was going to teach Joe, but Joe rose me. No. So is that written in stone now, or is that still being negotiated?
Huh?
No, come on, you're on the inside of it. You work with the guy. You don't pretend, don't play stupid. Let's hear the BLMS. I mean, let's at least capitalize on the fact we're stuck with you. I mean, got you all this week. Let's find out what the deal is.
Hey, I heard I was your first choice.
You were my first choice. Of course, the other choices were Beaner Boy and, yeah. You were the first choice. I said, bring that little fat bastard in there. He's plus you're a Patriot fan, so it can't be all bad. Oh, but seriously, don't try to change the subject. The audience wants to know, are we still floundering? In other words, is it still an open deal, or is it like
I think
finished?
they're still working on it.
They're still hammering it out, as they say.
We won't be on today.
The hammer's still pounding it out. 10:56 at 560 QA. We got a bunch of dolphin stuff, man. Hours and hours of it. It's going to be ugly.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
We did it! Saturday morning, join Bullwinkle J. Moose and his bully buddy, Saddam Hussein, for the madcap misadventures of Iraqi and Bullwinkle.
Beanie, meanie, dilly beanie. The United Nations is about to speak.
Who cares? Give me that crystal ball.
Reckon he got up on the wrong side of the bunker. Perhaps a poem will help. Saddam, you're one whacked out dude. And just like your oil, you're smelly and crude.
Hey, Moose, did you see your squirrel friend?
Oh, you mean Rocky? Sure, he's over there. And over there, and over there. Oh my, Rocky! What do you know about this, Saddam?
Don't ask me. Ask my auntie.
Auntie? Auntie who?
Auntie Aircraft.
Oh no!
Join us next time for Oil's Well That Ends Well or Kiss Your Gas Goodbye.
Hey, Moose, what's weather forecast for today?
Balmy.
Uh-oh.
Iraqi and Bullwinkle, Saturday morning on Nickelodeon.
11:02 at 560 WQAM. Getting all kinds of faxes. Basically, all saying the same thing. Haven't fooled our crowd, not too many of them, but it isn't going to make too much difference unless some miraculous thing happens in the next year. Howard Dean yesterday really just bitterly disappointed me. Weak, very lame, and those people who say, he might just be Michael Dukakis all over again, they might be right. I know that's not what this audience wants to hear. It's not even what I want to hear myself saying, but I'm just a little bit nervous about him. In fact, after this weekend, I'm real nervous about him. You have to be consistent. You have to have cojones. You have to stick by your principles as opposed to like doing what they do on the American TV networks, and that is sticking your finger out the window to see which way the wind is blowing and then pandering to that. That's not the way to win the hearts and the minds of people with a brain. Of course, there aren't too many of them, so I guess maybe he's just playing to the masses now. Pretty weak, Howard, as opposed, it's a sad day when I gotta say that Al Sharpton was the best of all of them, just like in most of the debates we've been watching. He talked circles around most of those guys, and he's got the balls to say the right things, even though, of course, we know he's an asshole. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Don't want to get too political here, do we? Because who we're going to start sounding like that.
Randy.
What?
Hello, Randy.
What?
Are you listening to me?
No.
I don't want to start doing like that. WQAM line 1 is working. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Hey, listen, I'm in my car riding around, so I haven't gotten a chance to check out the TV or anything, but has the stock market, done
Market
anything?
is up, man. Dow is up 63. The Nasdaq's up about 10. The world markets have had a pretty good spike overnight.
So do you think that it's going to go through the roof now if they caught this son of a you-know-what?
No. Do I think it's going to go through the roof? I don't think so. There's always an initial, when there's good news like this, there's always an initial spike. And it's only 11 o'clock in the morning anyway, so we'll see what happens.
All right, well, I just wanted to let you know I've been listening to you since back in the days of Stan Major. Went to a couple hockey games with you years ago. I still listen to you. I love you, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks a lot, pal. You put your money under the mattress. Don't get sucked into this market business. Although I will give you the name of a really great broker who's not Mitch Hirsch. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. And since it is the holidays, I want to try to be in a more benevolent mood during the holidays. I have a message for Mitch Hirsch.
You son of a bitch.
Well, there's Sodom the before and after. They shaved him up and he still looks like crap. Seriously, don't you think that a guy, they said that he took $1 billion out of the banks when it was just before the fall of Baghdad? $1 billion. And he had 750,000 on him.
A lot of candy bars to buy.
A lot of candy bars. Couldn't even get Chinese takeout. That was the sad part. I doubt they were delivering, you think? Probably not. But how can he be that stupid? Wouldn't you think that he would have been able to get out of there? We gave him, like one of the faxes I just had, it said, we gave him, notice over and over again, we're coming, we're going to get you. You better hightail it. We're going to come and get you. One of these days. So we had months and months of advance notice, but being the hard ass that he was, and of course, in addition to which, wouldn't you think that maybe they would have hidden one of his doubles down in there?
That's what I first thought when I first saw the headline.
See, and they had this real quick DNA test that they do. It takes about 10 hours. Because the thing happened, I guess, 3 o'clock Saturday afternoon. And then about 5 o'clock in the morning, they had the first results on the initial DNA test. And they said, yeah, that's him. Plus he had the tattoo. And they brought in a bunch of people and they sent him around in front of Tariq Aziz. And they stripped him. And Tariq Aziz said, oh yeah, that looks like it. It's like if they brought Clarence in, with the disguise. You'd recognize him just by that tiny penis. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T in Verizon wireless line. Yeah, I just would have thought that somebody who supposedly as brilliant of a tactician as he is, and brilliant, of course, tactics, look at the war that he fought. They just kind of rolled over and died. Here's line 9, which has always got perspicacious comments about the most important issues in the world. QAM, hello.
Want to talk to Neil, please?
Speaking.
Uncle Neil.
Yes.
Got a great idea for Saddam's punishment. Put him on that game hunting preserve where Cheney hunted. Have Bush, Cheney, Rumsfeld, Ashcroft, and to make it more poignant and patriotic, Private Jessica Lynch. And Bush can say, we'll give you a 10-minute head start. And then they could hunt him.
Uh-huh.
And then they could clean him and,
and skin him.
And, Jessica Lynch likes Dick.
Okay. What did he say? He said she likes Dick Cheney. 5670560. Pound 560.
Anyone seen him lately, by the way?
What is it?
Anyone seen him lately, by the way?
Cheney?
Yeah.
No, I guess you didn't hear that story because you're not listening to the show. We had the story last week that last Monday, he and about a dozen of his buddies, they went to this preserve somewhere in Pennsylvania, I think it was, and they closed, it's like a pen, and they had all these pheasants, and it's like shooting fish in a barrel. And they had a little hunting thing, and they shot up a whole bunch of birds. And some spectators were shooting him back the bird, and that was his pastime. That was his hobby. Taking out his frustration. Shooting a bunch of little defenseless animals. Nice going, Dick. Probably good for his heart. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Good. Is Neil on?
Speaking.
This is Neil?
Sounds like me.
Hey, Neil, how are you? Hey,
Still
listen,
pretty
I just wanted to call and, put my 2 cents, my take.
Go right ahead. What's your take?
And my take is, hey, we got him. Let's fry him. Let's have the Iraqis fry him and move on. Let's get Osama, baby. We gotta get Osama, baby.
Okay.
We did it! We did it! We did it!
Too bad David Sampson could have been there. Would have been great.
We did it!
Did you read about the thing about Dan Rather doing a report? He hates CBS Sports. He hates all of that crap because they keep interrupting every time something cataclysmic happens in the world. He keeps getting cut off. And so they did it to him again yesterday. And while Bush was making his speech on CBS, somebody hit the wrong button and they showed an empty football field. The Rams, who were the Rams playing? The Vikings? Some horseball game, whatever the hell it was.
No,
which CBS wasn't even supposed to be showing because it was a Fox game. And they showed the empty stadium for 6 seconds. And Rather came back on, all flustered and just falling apart at the seams, and it was kind of an embarrassing thing. Nice going, Dan. Calm down. They did it to him again. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Tom Jicker writes, left wing, ready to take flight with talk radio. The left might finally get it right with the long-proposed liberal talk radio network. Many of those who've been pushing this concept since Rush Limbaugh became a daily irritant to Democrats have no understanding of radio. Right, kind of like you, Tom. Politics is generally deadly on radio, TV too for that matter, Ted Koppel says of all the subjects he treats on Nightline, politics is the undisputed audience turn-off champion.
Absolutely correct, sir.
He kids that he can feel the mego factor, my eyes glaze over is what migo, my eyes glaze over, kicking in through the tube. A round-the-clock radio network whose sole goal is to pursue a partisan agenda wouldn't last as long as the Bob Graham presidential campaign. Oh, by the way, Bob Graham said all the right things too yesterday, but he ain't running. Nice going, Bob. You go, boy. Rush isn't a sensation because he's a conservative any more than Neil Rogers is the king of South Florida radio because he's a liberal. Rush rules because he's a conservative who keeps his listeners amused. Ditto Rogers on the left. Amused. Most of the other, by the way, Tom, did I amuse yous? Most of the others in their line who don't have their flair scrap for ratings crumbs. There are hardcore choirs on the right and left that crave a daily homily. However, it's the vast middle that swings elections and radio ratings. Indeed, polls on Rogers' program have indicated there's a substantial crossover between his show and Limbaugh's. Clearly, the appeal for those listeners is not partisanship. Liberals who dream of neutralizing Limbaugh with a lineup of like-minded politicos have been kidding themselves. Load a schedule with earnest but pedantic people like Al Gore or Mario Cuomo, and you get an audience the size of National Public Radio's, which the left already has. You get an audience the size of the beast's penis. Lure talent like Al Franken and Michael Moore to host shows, and the Republicans then would have reason for concern. It appears the people behind the proposed liberal radio network understand this. Progress Media, which hopes to launch the tentatively titled Central Air Network this coming spring, has put forth Franken's name as a potential host. Franken could guarantee a huge sampling merely by chanting the title of one of his books, Rush Limbaugh is a Big Fat Idiot. Janine Garofalo, another irrelevant, reverend free spirit, is also supposedly on Central Air's roster of prospects. Liz Winstead of Jon Stewart's Daily Show is reportedly helping to develop program concepts. Another difference between Central Air and previous efforts is that this one looks like it will come to fruition, according to a leading broadcast newsletter. There's a lot of money and a lot of pent-up frustration behind this, said Tom Taylor of M Street Daily. The money's already shown itself. Progress Media is close to finalizing deals to purchase stations in New York, Los Angeles, Philadelphia, Boston, and San Francisco. These stations would serve as network flagships, guaranteeing national advertisers that their messages would be available to tens of millions of listeners. Progress has said these 5 are just a starting point. It intends to continue acquiring stations to increase nationwide penetration. This might be the only way the network would get clearance in the Miami-Fort Lauderdale market. There's only one general talk station, WIOD, and it's owned by the unctuous Cheap Channel, which airs almost exclusively programs provided by one of its syndication subsidiaries. Buying stations is the expensive way to do it, Taylor said. Leasing stations or syndicating the network would be far less costly. The fact that they're going about it this way is an indication they see this as a long-term project. Patience is crucial, according to Taylor. Some of what they'll do will work, some of it will flop. It's like network TV in that way. You just have to keep at it. Have to keep banging at it, beast. Have to keep pounding at it. Ironically, the enemy is serving as an ally by providing priceless publicity. Rush can't stop talking about it. He isn't the only one. It's a hot topic all over the country. Really? Taylor says he has no idea how the network will be received, but he's certain of one thing. The audience might be small, but it'll include a lot of talk show hosts. What? Well, what kind of a punchline is that, Tom? The audience might be small, but it will include a lot of talk hosts. Do you understand that?
No.
I don't even know what that means, Tom. But thanks for mentioning my name and spelling it right, Tom, said the Queen. 11:13 at 560 WQAM. Welcome EF Tire and Auto Repair to the Neil Rogers Show. EF Tire and Auto Repair is located at 5083 North Federal Highway, just a mile and a half north of Sample Road in prestigious Pompano Beach. At EF Tire and Auto Repair, experience the difference that experience makes. All EF mechanics are certified technicians, current with all the latest technology, and most have been with the EF team for nearly 20 years. The EF team has got over 200 combined years of experience. If you need an oil change, this is the smart time to do it. Stop by EF and ask them about their Neil Rogers $12.95 oil change special. You heard me right, just $12.95 for an oil change. The EF team uses only the best parts, top-of-the-line Castrol GTX motor oil. You couldn't even buy the parts for this incredibly low price. EF Tire and Repair, they're at 5083 North Federal Highway, Pompano Beach. Call 954-426-9926. That's 954-426-9926. Be sure to ask about their 90-day same-as cash, no-interest credit card, too. EF Tire and Auto Repair, nationally recognized as one of the most successful automotive repair facilities in the entire USA. And please don't forget, ask them about the $12.95 Neil Rogers oil change special, 954-426-9926.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
He sucks, okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Baghdad Karaoke Cafe presents Saddam Hussein. Thank you. I've got the UN by the scrotum, never really showed 'em. All my poison and my warheads. Oh! Now they're cooked, never looked under my bed. Oh! Thank you. I got the factory making anthrax nukes in kiddies' backpacks. There's no way you'll make me dead. Hey, Colin Powell, should've looked under the towel on my head. Come on, people, sing along with me because this is unbelievable, huh? I've got the United States going crazy, trying to convince people to attack me, except for Sean Penn, of course, who's on my side. He loves me like crazy. Funny little kook. Oh, get used to a life of hard knocks when I give you the smallpox. You should have looked a little harder. Silly Bush, kiss the tush of this murderer. Thank you very much. Please tip your waiters and waitresses. Good night.
11:18 at 560 WQM. KM in the audience faxes and says, my skepticism and cynicism has more than doubled with the Halliburton scandal, and then the fact that the UN says it might have to abandon its 2-year effort to stabilize Afghanistan because of rising violence blamed on the Taliban. So how do the Bushies clean up their image? They catch the bad guy. Quick, let's check those popularity polls.
All right.
Good point, Mr. Bolden. Now, this thing that you just faxed me from Miguel, I'm so
I
depressed.
didn't fax it, actually. He came in here and faxed it.
Oh, I'm so depressed I want to, do something.
Better stop by In the Zone Sports.
See, one thing you're going to have to learn on this show, okay?
Yeah.
Just calm it down a little bit. Put a little tiny bit of a lid on it, you know what I mean? Because I want to
kill some people.
Right.
Sorry.
Why is it that, no, it's not your fault. Why is Miguel I realize he's under a lot of duress, especially since somebody is suspended.
Who?
Can't say.
Oh.
I can say that Troy's suspended because we didn't get any memo about that. Troy Stratford's suspended, but we like Troy. That's the difference. The other one is suspended. We can't stand that bitch. But anyway, why did he do this other thing? I mean, I know we're desperate to raise money. We got $47,500 for Abandoned Pet Rescue. It's only the December 15. We got half the month to go. By the end of the year, we'll have our 50 grand, right? No sweat.
Sure.
We got another van hit tomorrow someplace from 11 to 2, which hopefully at the beginning of the show we'll know where it is so we can tell you. Also tomorrow, Joe Costello, who raises just tons of money for Abandoned Pet Rescue. Joel, 7:30 to 9:30 at the Glory Grill. I'm assuming that's in the morning.
Do they have glory holes there?
Yes, they do, as a matter of fact. He's going to be drilling one. Joe Costello, 7:30 to 9:30 tomorrow morning at the Glory Grill, 4746 North Congress Avenue in Boynton Beach. And you could win some Panthers tickets, too. Wow.
It's 7:30 to 9:30 at night.
Yeah, it's got to be at night because I'm going to be there with him.
Well, actually, it does say PM on here, but I'm a little under the weather, okay? I'm a little confused, especially after reading that first part that you started to read on the air. I can't make any comment on that. You know what I'm talking about?
You're flabbergasted.
Because we've always had a very specific policy that Miguel is very, very, very well aware of, but he just can't stop whoring he can't stop allowing himself to be manipulated by the salespeople out there, and it just ain't gonna fly. I just don't want to be involved. So he can talk about it on his show, Miguel.
What show's that?
I don't know, 8 to 10 a.m.
Could be.
Let's see. Here's, it says, first I got easy money. The chocolate candy had no maltitol or else they would have smelled him out. That's a good point. If he would have been eating those, that would have gotten him out a lot sooner. We could have sent him some of those Dr. Atkins bars, you know? Second, it says, I got a scoop. He was getting pizza delivered from Pizza Loft and Plantation because the guy needs a business over there. And, poor Jeff. Oh, and Plantation. I don't want to talk about that. And third, I expected to hear Mad Dog in the background yell out, yes, when they said we've got him like the Iraqis did during news conference. Well, we could probably do something like that, couldn't we? We got David Sampson. We don't have we got him, but we do have we did it. And Mandit's doing his thing, okay? One moment, please. Okay, this might be well worth it, or then again, it might not be worth it. We'll see.
We did it!
Yes!
Not too thrilling, huh? Probably we should use the other one.
Yes! 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 Yes!
I'll tell you, the networks are so enchanted, like the sports networks. that when they show some of the clips from ball games and you hear audio in the background, you'll hear Mad Dog screaming, and it's not even a Dolphin game. Have you noticed that?
I didn't notice that.
Yes. Well, that's because you're not as perspicacious as I am. Some of the clips they have where it's like a montage of touchdowns and different things, and they just throw in audio that isn't really directly from those games, and they put them in there because nobody don't like the Mad Dog. Let's see. The Palm Beach Troublemaker says if that Republican who called earlier would have been listening to Randy, oh God. Last week he'd have heard her predict since Bozo went to Iraq for Thanksgiving, that means we're getting Sodom for Christmas. Why isn't anyone in the liberal media saying what's plainly obvious, that was a prison cell he was in with 2 armed guys guarding and caring for him, just keeping him on ice for the perfect moment? Let's say, like when Halliburton gets exposed as cheating the U.S. taxpayers, did he or did he not look like a guy who spent the last 8 months locked in a hole in the ground? Says the suspicious Palm Beach Troublemaker. I don't want to sound like we're paranoid or anything like that, but it sure does raise a few questions, don't it? Huh? You still just got to believe that a guy that's got $750,000 in cash, although I don't think we'd let him keep the briefcase, do you? Probably not a good idea. No. So that kind of like rules that out. But, if we would just listen to the goddess, we'd probably have all of these things. In fact, the world would be a so much better place.
Randy.
What?
Hello, Randy.
What?
Are you listening to me?
No.
See, the professional talk show radio listeners, like I've always said, they give me the creeps. That stuff went out with knickers, okay? So give it a rest. Look at the votes we got on here, though. I'll tell you one thing, 427 in just over an hour. I bet you Eric is crapping in his pants. Must have been the Atkins bar, Eric. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? It's fine, but where's Osama? Where's Osama, your mama? 149. The whole invasion was bogus, based on lies. 141. You notice that word invasion? Because that's what it was. I thought it was Operation Iraqi Freedom. What's the Bushmeister saying?
Definition of getting the job done.
Yeah, I got a job for you. Called retirement. The whole invasion was bogus, based on lies. 141. That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush. 74. Fry the bastard on Channel 735, and no matter the cost, it was well worth it. 28. Only 28 out of 427 at 6.5% say no matter what the cost, it was well worth it. I'm thinking to myself, do you remember when Dan Rather went over not that many years ago and interviewed Saddam Hussein?
Yeah.
And I kind of wondered then, how come Dan didn't they just didn't hide a piece on him or something? Or he didn't use of course he don't wear any glasses, but he had like reading glasses, like in Godfather 3. Remember that? You didn't see Godfather 3?
I didn't see the third one, to be honest.
Oh my God. Oh jeez.
Everyone always told me it was horrible, so I never watched it.
It was not horrible.
Everyone says it's horrible.
Well, I say it's not horrible, okay? Other than Sophia's nose and some really bad acting by Eli Wallach. Other than that, it's just fine. And it's a must-see. So there's something for you to do. Kill some good time.
All right, when I get home, I have the box set. I'll watch it.
While Clarence is like taking a little nap, regenerating his sexual prowess. Oh, God, I can't even begin to imagine. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. And look at that, the phones aren't even smoking here now. What's wrong with that? What is going on here? When you think that on a day like this, these phones are practically, when in doubt, we'd blow them out.
Well, GW is talking now, so maybe they're all watching TV.
Talk about our efforts. I'm talking about the efforts of a lot of countries. We've got.
See, I want to say this to you, and I really mean this sincerely. I'm not saying this to be partisan, because, I looked at Jimmy Carter and had the same feeling. He was a Democrat. I looked at Michael Dukakis, who was a Democrat. I felt the same way. You look at certain people. You know what I mean? Yeah, like that one. And like Greg Reed, there's a classic example. You look at him and you're thinking, uh-oh, we're dealing with a moron is what we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by looking at them. Even Jean Chrétien, that frog, he knew what it was.
M-O-R-O-N. Absolutely.
You got it, Mo. Even Mo is onto him.
M-O-R-O-N.
He knows one when he sees one. When he looks in the mirror every morning to adjust his piece, he knows a moron when he sees one, right? I mean, you just look at him and he's got that deer in the headlights look, and he just, and the public, man, you can sell the American public any kind of crap you want. Now, you must have seen Network. Please tell me you saw Network. You didn't see Network? This is what you get when you're working with a hurricane person, okay, folks? This is what you get left with. A hurricane guy. You didn't see the movie Network? Where Ned Beatty said to Howard Beale, he said, the world is a business, Mr. Beale, and that's what it's all about. Everything else is bullcrap. Everything else is meaningless. That's why nobody should be surprised at Halliburton and Bechtel and all of these other, this rape, this loot and plunder of the world by these big corporations, and of course the tax cuts for the rich. It's the same crap. Every time the right wing takes control, it's the same crap all over again. Whether it was Reagan, whether it's this Bush. Tax cuts for the rich, baby. Big breaks for the big corporations. Pollute the crap out of the environment. There's no such thing as global warming. It's just a left-wing commie pinko myth. It's a fairy tale. We'll just leave it up to the individual corporations. They'll be a bunch of good boys. Leave it up to our good friends like Kenny Boy Lay. And the public just like that. 27 past 11 at 560 WQM. Shelley Bloom's Fashion Clothiers have been around in town for over 40 years, and you guys out there should be proud because, man, what a great store. They're at 2650 Northwest 5th Avenue, Miami Fashion District, and you'll find the most beautiful men's clothing under the sun. Suits and sport coats, slacks, dress and sport shirts, ties, one of the biggest selection of designer shoes anywhere in town. Shelley's got Italian slack Super 120s in 15 colors for only $60. Giorgio Armani suits that you have to pay an arm and a leg, $1,395 to $1,595 every place else. You buy them for only $795 at Shelley Bloom's Fashion Clothiers. Shelley even offers you a fantastic selection of Italian suits starting at just $225 each. Service, selection, and price. Those are the three ingredients in a recipe that have kept Shelley Bloom in business for over the past 40 years in that same location, and Shelley guarantees you that'll never change. The selection's unbeatable, alterations are always free, and with thousands of suits in stock, up to size 70, beast, you're sure to find what you need. So stop overspending at the malls and make the trip to Shelley Bloom's in the heart of the Fashion District. Open Monday through Saturday, 9:30 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you want to compare a price, talk turkey with Shelley, just give them a call, 305-573-5890. That's 305-573-5890. Shelley Bloom's Fashion Clothiers, no matter where you are, it's well worth the trip.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
Yourself.
I have a duty to protect this country, and I will continue to protect the country so long as I'm the President of the United States. A free and peaceful Iraq is part of protecting America. Because I told you before...
What does that have to do with withdrawing the troops by June? John Roberts of CBS just asked Bush a question that made him look like a monkey more so than usual, like the chimp in chief.
Or bread. A part of a world...
And he's flubbing and flustering and like that. Commander in chimp, he's the... throw him a banana, okay? 5670560. Nice going, John Roberts. Let's hear it. Oh! All right. I should have probably had that on. That would have been great. We can probably get the audio from it, you know? It was a beautiful thing. Well, I'll be re-showing it over and over again. I'll probably excise this part out. Pretty embarrassing, W. He said even a political novice would start thinking, since you're claiming that we want to have an Iraqi government in place by June of next year and start withdrawing American troops no later than June of next year. See political connections with that, some political motivation, and there was the longest pause and like that. Just like Precious on Passions, he was... It was a beautiful thing. Nice going, John Roberts. 5670560. Does anybody have any idea what I'm talking about?
No.
Good.
Nope.
WQAM, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'd like to speak to Neil.
Speaking.
Neil.
Yes,
let
I
me
am.
ask you a question. Do you remember, has anybody ever asked the government if they have sold any of the Iraqi petroleum, and to whom, and what money, what have they done with that money? This is getting ridiculous here with all these lies.
Yeah, it's good to see that they're only online for 4 hours to get gas in Iraq. That's always nice to see. 5670560. It's called a hose job. Pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hold on one second. Let me turn off my tape here. How are you?
Turn off your what?
I was listening to a tape. I was on hold.
A tape of what?
Moby Dick.
Oh, all right. That's not bad.
Hey, Uncle Neil.
I like Moby, and I like... Go ahead.
You and I are... often on the same plane and all that, and I agree with you. I detest Bush. That's putting it mildly.
Yes?
But my problem with the Democrats is just that. We want to replace somebody from the far right with somebody, especially if Dean gets the nod, from the left.
I know what you're going to say, and you're wrong, because Dean is a fiscal conservative. He's not somebody from the far left. I've been reading a lot about Howard Dean, and he's far from that. He's a moderate Democrat.
Well,
I mean, because he signed the civil union thing, a lot of people think, oh, gee, well, that's really where he's coming from. That's just one issue. But he's not a raving liberal.
Okay, then, okay.
I mean, in fact,
how come we're under that impression?
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you the word for Howard Dean, which is in these days, and that is populist. He's a populist, just like Arnold was in California, even though Arnold's a moron. Okay. But nevertheless, that's what the feeling is in America now. It's the anti-establishment people who are getting elected.
Right. Well, can you explain, and I'm not arguing with you, I'm just saying, how is that perception out there that he is liberal then?
Well, how is it? Because first of all the other 8 Democratic candidates have been trying to paint him into that corner to begin with, number one, including Lieberman especially, who's as far to their right than probably Bush. And number 2, that's what the Republicans are going to try to paint him with a big broad brush. He's another raving left-wing George McGovern. That's what they want to make him appear to be.
Well, the other day, as a matter of fact, all of a sudden she's popped out of the woodwork out of nowhere. The woman I absolutely detest, Donna Brazile.
Yeah.
She's been out.
Why do you detest her?
She's the one that told Gore how he had to dress and all that stuff.
Yeah.
All this alpha stuff and all, I can't stand ladies.
I think detest is a little strong, but anyway, you're entitled.
Anyway, but going back to if you say he's a centric or a populist at least,
Yeah.
Because my argument
he is not a raving left-wing liberal. He's not Ted Kennedy. He's not Chris Dodd. He's not one of those people.
All right. I'll give him another look.
But I'll say it again. He disappointed me bitterly yesterday. I thought his response was pathetic. It was namby-pamby. It was very weak. It was unacceptable. And the only people, of course, Bob Graham's already dropped out, but at least Bob Graham's been consistent, talking about the real terrorists and the real people who really threaten the American public, and Al Sharpton and Wesley Clark. Those are the only 3 who made honest answers and responses, and the rest of them are just, they stuck the finger out the window. They figured, we certainly better jump on this bandwagon for a few days because Bush is popular. He's going to go zooming up again temporarily, so we better, suck up, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah. Wouldn't it be better, though? I shouldn't say be better, but in order to go from the right back to the course the country should be on, if somebody like a centrist like Hagel or McCain or Thompson or somebody like that, or Edwards or...
wait a minute. You're hopping all over both parties. Well, where do we get Chuck Hagel from? What's he running for?
Well, no,
you're mixing Republicans and McCain and
and
Edwards?
But they're centrists. I mean, there was, during the other election, during the 2000 election, there was a...
Well, let me ask you this. Was Bill Clinton a centrist?
Well, yeah, pretty much so.
He was a centrist whose first issue was about gays in the military?
Well, as he worked out through his term.
He started out, he became more of a centrist as time went on. You're right.
Exactly. So
I think all those labels are stupid. I think you need somebody who can inspire, who can motivate the electorate. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to get you depressed. The Democratic Party is dead in the water. Okay, sir? I've been saying that for a long time. They're DOA. If you want to blame most of the problems in the country, if you want to blame it on politics, don't blame the Republicans. Blame the Democrats for rolling over and playing dead, including yesterday. It's very sad. It's a one-party country now. You got a guy in there that just to look at him, people ought to be laughing and saying, you call that a president? Just like...
You call that a penis?
Right. And yet the Democrats, and their inimitable, they always have ability, they're like Greg Reed, man. They always have the ability to clinch defeat from the jaws of victory. They do it better than anybody. At any rate, here's the facts that says from Marty, I can't believe these idiots calling your show wanting to fry Saddam. You fry a child molester or a rapist, but a guy who's terrorized our country and killed millions of his own, you don't let him off the hook that easy. Says I would, but this mother effer is put him in the worst jail in New York City and have him as a warning to anyone who thinks of terrorizing the U.S. These people saying they should fry him must be Dolphin fans. And if they think Miami will make it to the playoffs, they'll think anything. Good point, Marty. You got an excellent point. As Marty touches all the bases. 20 till noon at 560 WQAM. So did Miguel come in and explain to you why he's got that unacceptable thing in the promo?
No, He's nowhere to be found.
Good. I think like Luca Brasi, he may be sleeping with the fishes. Let's just hope it's not those fish in a barrel that Dick Cheney's taking care of. 20 till noon at QAM. Big news. Hallett Pontiac GMC is now Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. Expect the same great unbeatable Neil deals and customer satisfaction that you're accustomed to when they were Hallett for about 500 years. Right now at Auto City of Pinecrest, it's an end-of-the-year clearance sale on all remaining 2003s in stock. Take advantage of 0% financing for up to 72 months or save yourself up to $9,000 with rebates and incentives, whichever you like. Attention lease customers, ask Auto City of Pinecrest about their lease pull-ahead early termination program. There are even more great deals at the new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. For a limited time, just sign and drive home your new GMC Sierra with absolutely, positively, no money down. It's the brand new Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. Same great location, though. 13401 South Dixie Highway. That's US 1 across from the Falls. Open every day, 7 days a week. For more info on these special deals, call the Neil Deal Hotline toll free, 1-888-534-4211. That's 1-888-534-4211. Don't forget all these offers subject to credit approval. See the folks at Auto City Pontiac for details. The brand new and thrilling and exciting and amazing Auto City Pontiac GMC of Pinecrest. Low prices with no high pressure.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Working in convenience stores everywhere.
Microwave burrito, please.
Let me turn my radio down. You explode burrito in microwave and make yucky. You clean it up.
They're lurking behind the counters.
One slushy, please.
You leave slushy machine grip and make it yucky. You clean it up.
And you can't escape it. The fear of Turpin Head, terrorist convenience store clerks. It's arachnophobia.
Yeah, a pack of camels, please.
In my country, camels travel in herds, not in packs. You stupid American imperialist slime.
Arachnophobia. Coming to a convenience store near you.
11:45 at 560 WQM. Got a big story about Dick Cheney coming. Here it is. Well, I had to wait for it to print out, you know what I mean?
I like Dick a lot.
Okay, whatever you say, Gildy. Supreme Court will review lawsuit over Cheney energy meetings. The Supreme Court said today it'll settle a fight stemming from Vice President Dick Cheney's contacts with the energy industry as the Bush administration drafted its energy policy. You know those closed-door meetings that he didn't want to give any information about? There's the biggest crook of them all right there is Dick. Don't trust Dick. The court agreed to hear an appeal from the administration, which is fighting a lawsuit brought by watchdog and environmental groups over the energy task force Cheney assembled. The panel met for, and by the way, Kenny Boyle, he was in on it. The panel met for several months in 2001, issued a report that favored opening more public lands to oil and gas drilling, and proposed a range of other steps supported by the industry. The lawsuit seeks to force the administration to provide details about the panel's records and inner workings. The groups allege the industry representatives in effect functioned as members of the government panel, which include cabinet secretaries and lower-level administration employees. Ain't that lovely? The watchdog group, Judicial Watch, and an environmental organization, Sierra Club, had won permission from a lower court to gather records related to the Energy Task Force. We're hoping at the end of this process the court is going to remind the vice president that he's not above the law, said Sierra Club lawyer David Bookbinder. That's the claim he's been making throughout this process, that he's simply immune from any inquiry into his activities. Crook! Dick Cheney's a crook, make no mistake about it. And by the way, speaking of is there a God or not, maybe there just might be a God beside him. You know why I say that? Colin Powell, prostate cancer surgery today. Ready for that? Maybe that'll teach him to go to the UN with all those phony maps and lie through his freaking teeth. Read the same stuff that he said the week before, which he didn't think anybody was listening. I'm not going to read this, Schmidt. And lo and behold, somebody made him an offer he couldn't refuse, and I think the Lord is punishing Colin Powell. That's why he's got his prostate cancer. You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I don't. Sounds good, though. Well, I mean, you got to feed them back some of their own bullcrap. You know, that's what they're always saying. The Lord is punishing you for your aberrant behavior, for all your grotesque, disgusting, pornographic, filthy, like you and Clarence. You're going to get yours.
Huh?
You'll see. What goes around turns around.
Rectum.
Isn't that how it goes? 515 votes, man. The votes are pouring in on this poll. It's shocking. And don't forget to go to neilrogers.com, not just to vote, but to see, they're not going to do it. everybody should take a puke at that picture just as a reminder of what a bunch of hypocrites everybody in the world is, how phony, because everybody's only in their own self-interest. That's how everybody operates. Whatever's good for us today, we'll lick your ass, okay? We don't care who the hell you are, what kind of a crook you are. But if you can help us out, we'll look the other way. And there's Rumsfeld squeezing it, and Saddam's hand, too. In fact, they're looking at each other. Rumsfeld got such a big smile on his face, I think he wants to do something with him, you know what? Got the same look on his face that you have on yours when Clarence walks in the studio. And there's the information. Just click on the caption under the picture. U.S. documents show embrace of Saddam Hussein in the early 1980s, despite chemical weapons, which he got from us, despite external aggression and human rights abuses. How is it I gotta say this, that thing that John Roberts just did in that press conference, that was one of the most gutsy things. He'll probably wind up in jail. He's supposed to be the heir apparent to Dan Rather. I don't think that's gonna happen. He'll probably be in prison before midnight. It's about time more and more you assholes in the media started asking questions like that. How stupid do you have to be? Even the question was phenomenal. Even a total political novice could see, look at the timing of this. You're going to put the government in place over there by June is the deadline and start withdrawing American troops. Get all the troops home before that big day in November when you're going to get yourself coronated again, W. The things that everybody knows and says in private, but nobody is supposed to say in public, that's the kind of thing that he just said there to the Bushmeister. And he just blew like that. Fumbled and bumbled and stammered and went all around in a circle about how he's not going to forget 9/11/2001 and his job is to protect the American people. What the hell does Saddam Hussein or any of the sacrificing the lives of these American kids in Iraq have to do with protecting the American people? You butcher, you murderer, you. Huh?
Iraq.
Yeah, see? 567. Am I getting worked up a little bit? Don't let me do that because I'm going to lose my voice. Then you'll have to do the show.
Oh.
Plus, it sounds to me like you're laying out anyway. Is he eating, Josh?
No. I did have one of those shakes, though.
And? Pretty good, huh?
Pretty tasty, but there's some after effects.
Get out of here. That's one of our fine sponsors, by the way, Beast.
It's very tasty, though, and filling. And nutritious. A lot of fiber.
Oh, man. Oh, God, no wonder Mo hates you like poison, you know what? You're just out of control. They have to keep a lid on you at almost all times.
You asshole.
Just butt out, Mo, okay? No Mo tomorrow. Aren't you depressed that you're not going to get to see him? Now what? Since you go in there, oh, that's right, you don't go in. Where do you do your update, the sport thing?
Right there, man. Right next to him.
So in other words, you're sitting right in there next to the Mo man at 8 o'clock
every morning? 8 o'clock update, a lot of tension in the room.
And then, of course, when Joe comes in...
No, they don't ever cross paths.
Well, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, like, Joe waits for Howard to vacate the building.
All right. I love it. Warmth and love and kindness at WQAM, especially during these holidays. As they have to wait for the changing of the guards. Kind of like when I was there and I made damn sure that, and I'll do the same thing in January. I made sure I come in every day just late enough to miss the moment. I just don't want to see him, you know?
It's such a sight, though.
Because it just destroys my day. I don't want to even have to lay eyes on that piece of crap in the checkered pants.
And his stupid hats.
He's wearing hats now?
Oh, he's wearing these, like, Kangol hats, which all the brothers wear, like in the hood.
Maybe he's turning black.
He's having an end-of-the-life crisis.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
An end-of-the-life crisis.
Absolutely.
All right. Boy, there'll be a lot of celebration on that, man.
Yes,
Don't forget, I got dibs, though. I'm going to be the first to dance on his grave. I got that picture right on our CD. Neil farts on Mo's grave. I can't wait.
I'll be second.
Can't wait for that day. And you'll be right behind me. And Joe Rose will be lined up there. And you know who'll be trying to push us all out of the way? Let me give you a clue.
All right.
He'll be trying to shove us all out of the way because, man, he hates him like poison. He resents the fact that this man came into town, took away his partner that he worked so well with. I don't want to mention, no names on the air. And then on top of that comes in town and sits him down at lunch for a little lecture about how he wants him to do his job at the game so he doesn't interfere with Mo's brilliant delivery and all the mistakes that Mo makes. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Speak to Neil, please.
Speaking.
Neil?
Yes, I am.
Oh, hi.
Oh, that was special, wasn't it?
Very.
What was that, like a panic attack? I mean, you had the feeling he actually might have had something to say, and then when he realized he was talking to...
Oh, God.
He just lost it. He couldn't handle it. He dropped it and the phone, too. WQM, hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I missed the John Roberts question. I was in my car. Can you repeat what he had asked him?
I'm going to repeat it again.
I didn't hear it.
He basically asked him that since they're talking about bringing the troops home and having a government in place in Iraq by June, he said even a political novice would have to feel that there was something politically motivated about that. And at that point, Bush became like apoplectic.
Good for John Roberts.
Exactly. I say make him president.
And he'll get his walking papers tonight.
Then probably. I don't think you see him no more.
Hey, and one other thing, I like what you said about Howard Dean. He is backpedaling, no backbone, jellyfish.
Yesterday he reminded me of Michael Dukakis all over again, man. Wimpy as they come.
Just when I had a little hope.
Yeah, I was all whipped up about him again, but so he's got a lot of money, he knows how to use the internet, and he's got all these big numbers. He's 23 points ahead of New Hampshire, but in the meantime, he's got to be able to beat Bush, and if he's going to be a wimp, it ain't going to happen.
Now my whip isn't whipping anymore.
Yeah, have a great day, Pally.
Yeah.
See you at the border. Going to be a lot of people lined up at the border. I'll help you in, eh? Especially if you're a hockey fan. How about my Maple Leafs, Beast? 21 out of a possible 22 points in the last 11 games. First place in the division. 1 point away from the lead in the league. Who could believe it? You're not impressed, are you?
I'm just miserable about the Bruins goalie
About
situation.
the fact that your team is floundering like crazy, and the last time that we played you guys, we beat you 6-2.
Oh!
Pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, pot fan, great deal. Way to be.
Yeah, you keep him. You'll get there with him. And nobody's showing up at that Enema Fleet Center, man. All those people disguised as empty yellow seats. See, one thing, if you're going to build an arena, folks, don't make the seats yellow. Not a good idea. Because then when nobody shows up, it's like just blinding seeing all those empty yellow seats. Nobody's showing up. Half the place is empty every night.
Because they're all into the Patriots.
That's right. They're like South Florida. They're bandwagon jumpers. They're hopping on a winner, hopping on Tom Brady, which a lot of people would like to. 535 votes. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? Have we had a woman call yet? No. Hello, Randy. I'd like to say that I think this president is just the greatest thing since sliced halava. 535 votes. It's fine, but where's Osama? 190. Osama, that's the man. The whole invasion was bogus based upon lies, 167, which we know. See, the impeachment trial should be going on right now.
Absolutely.
And instead, here he is basking in this capture of the evildoer. We caught him, we got him, we got the big fish, we got the evildoer. As if it changes anything, which of course it really doesn't. Anyway, one small step for humanity, one giant political leap for George W. Bush, 90. Fry the bastard on channel 753, meaning Sodom, of course, and no matter the cost, it was well worth it, 40, 7.4%. 40 people out of 540 say, no matter how many Americans and everybody else had to die, it was well worth it just to get this bearded bastard. The one that we propped up there in the first place and provided all those chemical weapons to, because he wasn't the Ayatollah. Take a look at that picture of Rumsfeld and Saddam and puke your guts out, okay, and read the caption. Just keep reading it and looking at it again and again. If you want to start getting a little idea what the hell, how corrupt the whole goddamn world is. And you wonder why people are so much more involved in ball games and things and like getting laid. That's where it's at. Right? Yeah. Enjoy it while you can, baby, because all this other stuff is just, we're all just little impotent people crawling around on the face of on this globe. 4 minutes till noon at 560 WQM. Why not let the number one Asian buffet in the world, Emerald Coast, do all the cooking for you this holiday season? Reserve your holiday party right now. Emerald Coast can accommodate even the biggest group. Start your mouth-watering eating experience with 6 different soups, any or all. I'm sure the Beast would make sure he tried them all just to be fair. And then sample dozens of succulent entrees like New York strip made to order and their sizzling Asian grill along with that new seafood St. Jacques. Enjoy oysters on the half shell every night. Alaskan stone crab, middle neck clams, jumbo, it says scrimp scampi. Shrimp scampi now for the first time. Steamed Maine lobster on the weekends, too, at the Emerald Coast. They've got hand-carved prime rib, the new Thai specialties, too. And don't forget, you'll never walk out of this place with a headache, just a big fat pupik, because they use only cholesterol-free oils in all their cooking, no MSG, no cornstarch, no crap. At the Emerald Coast, their buffet features a full salad bar, the new sushi bar, fresh shrimp cocktail, too, and a dessert station. Now, most people will probably be too full after picking out all the other good stuff, but I guarantee the Beast would still find a little bit of room, maybe shovel it into his pants. For dessert, Belgian waffles, pies, cakes, pastries with all your favorite toppings on the ice cream, too, and fresh fruit as well. Emerald Coast, 3 locations, Sunrise, Pine Island at 44th Street, Collins Avenue, just north of 163rd, North Miami Beach, and at the intersection of Flamingo and Pembroke Roads in Pembroke Pines. So take the ganze Mischpoche or book your next business luncheon right now at the Emerald Coast and let them do the cooking for you. Takeout and delivery available as well, too. 954-572-3822. 954-572-3822 for the holidays or any time for a real feast. It's the Emerald Coast Chinese Buffet.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Mark Morgan. It's the 12 to 1 hour on QAM.
Jesús muriendo aquí.
All right.
Start bombing Baghdad. Do it every day. Yes. I want to watch it on TV. Iraq, Iraq. We've nothing to lose. It should take a day. Let us just put an end to it. Iraq, Iraq. I want to wake up and see their cities don't exist. Poof in thin air and tell that Saddam Hussein, oi, we're really pissed. You're under my skin, that little piece of shh. Ain't getting away. I'll get the mob to make a hit from old New York. Saddam has got to go of that now. We all know it's time to bomb Iraq, Iraq. Up and see their cities all blown to bits, all blue, baby, and say that we're number one, top of the heap. We can't be beat, or can we have one? Oh! Start bombing Iraq. Why not start today? Let's make a parking lot of it. That old Iraq. And when all the boys are there, I'll do a show with that chick Cher and say goodbye, Iraq. Iraq, Iraq. Toodles, turban heads. Bang, bang, you're dead.
1204 at 560 WQAM. This is the facts of the century, if this is true, and even if it isn't, it's great. Regarding the capture of Saddam, Good Morning America, 12:15:03 this morning. Diane Sawyer interviews one of the journalists standing in the entrance hole to Saddam's hideout and asks the question to the journalist, can you describe to us just how smelly the hole is? I thought it was Saddam in there, not Ann Coulter. I thought it was Saddam in there, not Screw Ann. Are you ready for that?
No.
Can you describe to us just how smelly the hole is?
Rectum.
Or anyone you like. Anyone you pick. Oh. Here's a fax from Ricardo. It says, listening to Bush's press conference, he's a bumbling idiot. Sounds like a kindergarten kid. You are
absolutely correct, sir.
Really embarrassing. The John Roberts quote. Oh, look at that. There's the unctuous James Baker going to Europe to try to reduce the Iraqi debt. Oh, God. Enough to make you barf. And there's the big headline. Market climbs. Dow 10,111. It's up 69, which I think is very significant. Don't you? 69. You can relate to it. In fact, is your bet coming today?
It is.
I can see you curled up with Clarence Mann tomorrow morning. Don't oversleep now. With that contented look on both of your puss. And maybe tomorrow you can answer that question. Tell us just how smelly the hole is. Here's the fact that said, once again, is correct. A couple of months ago, I wrote you a long hyperventilating letter about the poor telemarketers. You must have hit the no button about 20 times after reading it. The other day, my toll-free number, somebody called and invited me to have dinner with Bush and to be an honored guest. Me, one of the biggest schleppers anywhere, a person a little to the left of Karl Marx is going to pony up and to see the president. Add me to the do not call list. Joe the Chimney Guy. Thank you, Joe the Chimney Guy. It's a long list, those of us who don't want to dine, even if he's buying. Can you describe to us, I'm saving this fax, can you describe to us just how smelly the hole is? That's a beautiful thing. That's got to put a smile on your puss. Ray in Miami Springs points out, he says, are we sure that Saddam was in that hole? If you ask me, the first photo released after he was captured sure looks a hell of a lot more like Fidel Castro. Good point, Ray. Maybe it was, you think? The bearded son of a bitch? Might have been Fidel. I get everybody whipped up in South Florida. Hey, let's have a little excitement for the holidays. Tell everybody it was really Fidel and not Saddam after all, huh? He was doing a sit-in. Good news for you. Here's a little piece of good news. Charges expected this week in molestation case against Michael Jackson. It's about time. Yeah, let's get to the important stuff. Forget about Saddam Hussein. Nearly a month after his arrest, Michael Jackson's expected to be charged this week in that child molestation case that legal experts say will require strong physical evidence for prosecutors to overcome questions about the accuser's credibility. Criminal charges are usually announced soon after an arrest, but Santa Barbara County District Attorney Tom Sneddon didn't immediately file a formal complaint. He said officials needed until this week to set up a website they would use to distribute the charging documents to hundreds of news organizations following the case. You'll see allegations of multiple counts of child molestation on this particular child, Thomas said, over a period of more than a month. Legal analysts said the charges will not attempt to refute challenges to the credibility of the accuser and his family. Charging documents usually include only basic information, such as the nature of the alleged offenses and when and where they would have occurred. Goes on, and on, and on. Well, there you go. They're trying to, smear the whole family, as is usually the case. But the Inquirer will have it. In fact, I better go out and check and see if there's an even newer Inquirer out today. 5670560. We had a lady call about Saddam Hussein. No. Now that your kids are being sent over there. See, the reason I say that is you think that the mothers who are less macho, in some cases, except Janet, you think that they'd be a little bit more concerned about their kids being sent off to die for a bogus cause? But they're not. I don't get that feeling. Look at that thing. Look at that picture of Have you looked at it?
I saw it.
Rumsfeld, big smile on his face, big enthusiastic greeting. He's squeezing it so hard, it's about ready to pop. And Saddam's hand, too. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
You know, the most distressing thing about this is that Lieberman comes out later yesterday and said that Dean was wrong for saying what he's saying. It's like,
yeah, he said if Howard Dean would have been president, Saddam Hussein would still be in power right now in Iraq.
It's like Bush doesn't have to say anything because Lieberman's saying it for him.
That's right.
It's disgusting. And
Jew Lieberman is a disgrace.
You know, and like my parents are the perfect demographic for Lieberman, and they're disgusted with him. So it's like,
I hope that somebody pees on his halava.
It's horrible. And he comes out and says nothing to back up his earlier belief that we should have gone after Saddam. There's still no weapons out there. There's no imminent threat.
Mm-hmm.
And what's he talking? But to let him be the shill for the Republicans is disgusting.
Right. He wants to prove to the world that there actually is somebody more to the right than Bush.
And he wonders why Gordon didn't back him.
Yeah.
You know,
Gore sent him a message. I think it was Coxahoy, something like that.
And to see Dan Rather's face yesterday morning, and my first thought being, oh, here comes Bush for another 4 years, and not, hooray, we got Hussein should say something. So it's just horrible.
It is
horrible. I'm disgusted.
See you at Niagara Falls, man. They got a great casino.
I think I'm moving to Canada.
Good luck, eh?
Thanks.
10 minutes past noon at 560 WQM. See, I'm trying to ration my voice today so you don't have to get pressed into emergency service. But you could do a hell of a show.
Huh.
What?
If called upon, I could figure something out.
Yeah.
Clarence
like I said, I think my voice is coming back. Seriously, we need to find out who the sales hole is behind it. This really threw me for a loop when you sent me this. It's not you, but I mean Miguel faxed me this thing. Why is he doing this? He knows that we don't.
Checking in the break?
He knows that we don't do that. He knows that we don't ever do that under penalty of that. And he allowed one of the sales holes to make some kind of a backdoor deal to try to sneak it in there. They're always pulling this crap, man. I'm going to find out before the end of this day who the sales hole is with that account. Unacceptable is the answer, okay? It is positively unbelievable and unacceptable.
I'll go dig for the answer.
Please, go dig for some gold. Like Mo. WQAM, hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, ma'am. Here's a lady.
Oh! Yes, I've been on the phone about 30, man. And, can I just say I don't enjoy this phone system because at least the other way, when you're on hold, you get to listen to the show on the phone.
Yeah.
But this way, I have to turn the radio off, and so you may have...
Yeah, but look how easy it worked, though. Here you are.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
30 minutes later.
Yeah.
So you may have already discussed this, I don't know, but are you really certain that the guy in the hole is really who we think he is? Because I'm not.
And why is that?
Well, a couple things. We know the real jerk was totally phobic about cleanliness, germs, and his appearance. The guy in the hole, not so much.
But also, like Morris Gibb once said, he was also interested in staying alive. Singing,
yeah, no kidding,
yeah.
huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Morris, he went to Mount Sinai. Yeah, it's him. They did the initial DNA. It came back. It's him. They paraded him in front of Tarek Aziz and all of his buddies. They said, oh, yeah, that's a scumbag.
Yeah, but
it's him.
They've
it's
never
him.
lied before either, have they?
Let me say it again. It's him. And have a great day. 12 minutes past noon at 560 WQM. Hey, if you're on one of those low-carb diets, let me tell you right now, it is really boring. That's right, unless you got some variety. Where do you find variety? Not in your supermarket. You'll find nice meat and cheese and stuff like that in your supermarket, seafood, but you won't find the other good stuff to keep you on the straight and narrow path. At Delights, you will. You'll find over 1,000 low-carb products like breads and bagels, cheesecakes, muffins, brownies, pasta and sauces, chocolates, chips and dips, soups and ketchups, Carbolite ice cream, and lots more. Every month they get new stuff in. Walnut brownies by Control Carb, delicious. They got Southern Delight chocolate chip cookies. Crunchy pretzels by Carb Sense, don't choke on them. They got individual-sized cheesecakes in 4 flavors. Control Carb brownies in 7 flavors, the most popular item in the store. They got Blitz-stoked mints, Judy's low-carb peanut brittle. They got La Nuba jams for you to jam on it, 7 gourmet flavors. Slim Carb fudgies for fudge brownies or chocolate raspberry cookies. And they got La Tortilla, great for making low-carb wraps, original garlic or green onion. They are out effing standing. And don't forget, you can try anything in the store before you buy it, and all the Atkins products are on sale all day, every day. Delights is open 7 days a week from 10 to 10. You'll find them on the northeast corner of Glades and 441 next to Boston Market, or call them toll-free at 1-877-LOW-CARB, 1-877-LOWCARB, or on the web, it's lowcarb.com. Don't forget, it's a one-of-a-kind store in the universe, Delights of West Boca, and it's your official Atkins retail center.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Oh, God.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Brothers Hussein.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, once and for all, we know they're not alive, 'cause we found their hiding spot in Baghdad. And now that they're dead, I don't feel even a bit sad. Made the things that were so damn sick. Both Saddam's sons were roasted on a stick. They were rapists, murderers, hoodlums, and crooks. And now they're just a memory in Iraqi history books. In the end, they went out like jerks. I wonder if they finally lost those evil, cocky smirks. Watching TV when all hell broke loose and a bomb hit their caboose. Oy. Big old ugly Uday finally died with little brother Kusay by his side. I wonder if the daddy even tried to save his sons, or was he terrified? We finally closed the book on that twosome. They were full of hate and so gruesome. Now they're on the hellbound 7 train. Say goodbye to the Brothers Hussein. I know you're going to think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, I hear something outside.
Hey, that's just the TV. Don't be so paranoid.
No. I don't think it's the TV.
It's the TV.
Something's wrong out there. Where's the dog?
Well, send a guy then.
Send Falafel.
Okay, Falafel. Go check outside.
What the hell is that?
What is all those people?
Oh, no. Now big old ugly Uday finally died with little brother Kusay by his side. I wonder if the daddy even tried to save his sons, or was he terrified? We finally closed the book on that twosome. They
Everybody's waiting here up at the gate.
Uh-oh.
Isn't this,
No, I don't think it is hot in here. Yeah, you know why it's hot, huh? Yeah.
It's like 1,000 degrees or something like that.
Yeah, look at all this.
I thought Baghdad was hot, but this is...
Look where we are.
This is ridiculous, huh?
Oh, look at that.
Capture, in light of the fact he's
There's
one of the few
Bill
Americans
Richardson
ever
handing
who have
some
met
kind of a
with him.
schmata to Saddam Hussein. Man, it's enough to make you gag. Enough to make you want to puke your guts out. Governor of Mexico, New Mexico. You know Bill Richardson? No, you don't. Do you know anything, Beast, beside the fact that the Patriots won yesterday? Do you know anything? And also, well, let me ask you a little easier question. Can you describe to us just how smelly the hole is?
Which one?
What a urinalist, baby. Diane Sawyer. What does it smell like?
Rectum.
Rats, mice, lice, vermin, Sodom. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T. We might just break our record today. By the way, did you get an update on that thing about that promo yet?
Yeah.
And?
Miguel says he set that deal up over the weekend.
Well, what do you mean he set it up?
He said he set it up.
He set it up?
Yeah.
No.
That's what he said. I asked him if a sales guy was on it.
Tell him the instruction is to unset it up, okay?
I told him that. He said, don't read it. He'll work on it.
Yeah, he's working on it. 604 votes. We may break the record. I don't think we've ever, even during the Alien days, reached the 900 mark during the show. Have we ever reached 900 on the show? I don't think so.
No.
How the hell would you know? 604. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? It's fine, but where's Osama? 216. Where's Osama? Your mama. The whole invasion was bogus based on lies, 183, and anybody who said that is...
Absolutely correct, sir.
That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush, 102. What a brilliant choice that was. Nice going, Josh. Didn't Josh come up with that idea?
No.
Fry the Bastard on Channel 760, and no matter what the cost, it was well worth it, 43, 7.1%, no matter how many people we had to sacrifice to get that bearded bastard that we used to like a lot. Until we decided it was not in our best interest, and we had to, do something. Until we decided we want to hook up our hose. Speaking of hooking up the old hose, guess who got a number one record in England now for the first time in 33 years?
I know who it is.
You do?
Yep.
Ozzy. Rocker Ozzy Osbourne has made British chart history by scoring a number one single 33 years after his first hit. You got to give him a lot of effing credit, you know? The singer currently recovering after a quad bike accident that his wife said nearly killed him. He stopped breathing, had to be revived by a security guard. Went straight to number one with Changes, a duet with his daughter Kelly. The record topped the UK singles charts yesterday. Osbourne's first chart hit was Paranoid when he was with the group Black Sabbath, which reached number 4 in August 1970. Osbourne, 55, beat previous record holder Lulu by nearly 4 years. The Guinness Book of Records said today, according to the Press Association, Lulu, and wasn't it To Serve with Love? Man, her first hit, Shout, reached number 7 in May of 64, 29 years before she topped the charts with her collaboration with Take That, Relight My Fire. Whatever the hell that is.
I don't know it.
I don't either. But she did do To Serve with Love, Lulu. She was a real Lulu. You're just not old enough. You're not an old fart like me and George. See, even George is an old fart now, which is good. We need to infuse some young blood on QM, which is why starting next Monday, the Beast and Clarence are going to be doing 8 to 10 in the morning because we can't afford to pay Joe Rose.
What a love fest that would be.
When you told me that story about Channel 6 is like hell-bent against him doing that show, and the fact that he went into Greg and asked for too much money, and that's why this continues to be a temporary deal, that is so freaking depressing. We're never going to get like one toe on the ground. Forget about getting a foot on the ground. QM will never get a toe on the ground. And the trend comes out Thursday. Is it going to mean anything? No. I mean, we can live off it for a while if it's good. Because the trend will be September, October, November, which goes through about the 20th of October. And guess who was with us for most of that trend doing 8 to 10? Right.
I'll take your children. I'll sell them to some Haitians.
Oh, speaking of Haitians, by the way, they are foaming at the mouth with Walmart. Always like those Haitians, you know what? Always liked them a lot.
Yeah, man.
But today I like them even better. All you Haitian people, we love you. Boynton Beach chanting Stop Vice City. About 100 Haitian Americans demonstrated outside a Walmart supercenter to protest the company's selling of a video game with anti-Haitian epithets. Representatives of Haitian organizations, churches, and political clubs joined together Saturday to protest the selling of Grand Theft Auto Vice City, a popular video game that features dialogue encouraging players to kill all Haitians and kill the Cubans.
Incredible.
Lovely. It's inflammatory, it's violent, and it's vulgar, said attorney Willie Jones, who yelled into a megaphone during the protest. Walmart officials said they had no plans to stop selling the game. Let me say it again. It features dialogue encouraging players to kill all Haitians and kill the Cubans. Our focus is on our customers, and we offer products we believe they want. Walmart, maybe they can start selling swastikas there too. What do you think? Because probably a lot of their customers want those. Walmart spokesman Dan Fogelman said yesterday, "Oy vey, Dan. These games are selling well, and we've had few customer complaints." Fogelman noted that only customers age 17 and older can buy the game, and Walmart requires ID from younger customers, so mature-rated games are not ending up in the hands of kids without their parents' consent. So only people over 17 can kill all the Haitians and the Cubans.
That is, like, the most popular game right now.
Grand Theft Auto Vice City?
Yeah. It's
You
supposed
got
to take
one?
place in Miami.
Well, how about we get... What if we had a game that said kill the fat Jews?
I'd
you
play
buy
it.
that? Huh? Take-Two Interactive Software, the manufacturer of the game in which an ex-convict is hired to recover stolen drug money in the streets of Miami, has been harshly criticized for its portrayal of the groups. Some 11 million games have been sold already, says the Beast. Take-Two Interactive officials have said the objectionable statements will be removed from the game, but they declined comment on the possibility of a recall. So in other words, those already in, like somebody's going to give it back? Of course not. Can you imagine how much more that would be worth if they recalled your game, Beast?
I have it.
Do you have it?
Yeah.
Well, why would somebody your age have a Grand
It's a great
Theft
game. You
Auto?
go around shooting people. You can have sex with hookers in the game. It's great.
Haitian and Cuban hookers?
Sure. Hookers of all colors.
Lovely. 5670560, pound 560. Like I said, stay the hell away from Walmart. Walmart blows. You didn't get it at Walmart, did you?
No.
Oh, please tell me you don't shop at Walmart.
No, never. Don't go to Walmart.
WQAM, hello.
Speaker Neil.
Yes, sir, speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry, Neil. Neil, have you haven't played that game?
No.
Oh my God! You know what's unbelievable? Walmart has no plans of taking this off the shelf. Yet they will not sell any records that have, bad words in them.
Right.
What the hell's the difference? You listen to somebody say a bad word, you can go out there and kill a whole bunch of people with a game.
Yeah, Walmart sucks, man.
And you know how many Jews Walmart's killed? Probably more than Hitler, because most of the Jews that were in the schmata business are no longer in there because they got said too much. There you go. Thank you very much.
Okay, Zygus up, man. Stay away from Walmart. I'll see you at Kmart. Yeah, Jews don't shop at Walmart. Only trailer trash shop at Walmart, right? I bet you Josh don't shop at Walmart.
No.
Can't afford. He can't afford. He shops at the dollar store with his big check from QAM.
Shops at Target.
26. Well, that sounds really like a fashion statement. 26 past noon. Oh, maybe it's French. Don't start the rumor that Target is French. They're going to start boycotting that too. Where the hell can you go and be safe? Certainly not Abercrombie and Fitch. Not after they wimped out. I think Abercrombie and Fitch was the Howard Dean of the fashion business. The way they caved in real quick there. Oh, we're going to cancel that catalog. And you're right. We're going to go out and hire a whole bunch of minority people. Because who the hell wants to see a bunch of hot-looking young people almost naked? Who wants to see that,
Yes.
All right. 27 past noon at 560 WQM. The Beast is looking forward to, what's the word I'm looking for? Copulating. He's going to be watching Nightline. He's going to be Ted copulating with Clarence tonight on his brand new King Coil mattress from Dollar Mattress. Aren't you?
Without a doubt.
You guys going to be doing it?
We're going to wear it in.
And so when he comes in tomorrow morning, he'll be able to answer the question, can you describe to us just how smelly the hole is? I bet you Diane Sawyer will be listening to this show tomorrow, no doubt. Anyway, at Dollar Mattress, there's no phony promises, no bait and switch, just everyday discount prices on brand names you know and love. Now including Stearns & Bananas Foster, the guaranteed lowest price in the world on Stearns & Bananas Foster. And now if you hate shopping out there during the holidays and all the mess and the fuss, make your gift a little easier this year to give for you and the ones you love. A gift certificate from Dollar Mattress. Just call 1-800-MATTRESS and give the gift that they'll be thanking you for year in and year out. They got gift certificates in any denomination, whether you want to give a really big one or like if you're a cheapskate. And don't forget, you get unbeatable service, too. You pick the day and time for delivery. Any 2-hour windows, 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. What time are they coming to your place?
Actually, just after 2:30, so I have to get home pretty quick.
2 what?
About 30, man.
I'll be damned. I've been sleeping on a mattress from these folks for years, and man, your back will know the difference. Trust me when I tell you. Honest sales practices, fantastic service, everyday low prices, same-day delivery, and free setup and removal all make it easy to see why Dollar Mattress is ranked numero uno for customer satisfaction. So for the best service and prices in the world, call the betting experts. Dollar Mattress, toll-free, 1-800-MATTRESS. 1-800-MATTRES, or online you'll reach them at mattress.com. Happy holidays from all your friends at Dial a Mattress.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAQAM.
Up the butt.
Maybe Geldy can describe it with just how smelly.
If there's ever a doubt, we should just take him out, Hussein. Go to Baghdad downtown, blow it to the ground, Hussein. You turd. He just lies, full of flies, hope he dies. Oh! Hussein. You wanna inspect this, Hussein? If we had a boat, your mother looks like a goat, Hussein. He just lies, full of flies, hope he dies, Hussein. He's insane. Cause we have the knack to destroy Iraq, Hussein. He just lies, he likes guys, hairy thighs. Oh! Hussein. Don't you try and deny, say bye-bye, Hussein.
12:33 and 560 WQAM. I guess I was getting a little carried away. We're not going to make 900 votes, are we? No. 648 on the poll, though. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? And don't forget, when you go to neilrogers.com, be sure to take a look at that picture of Rumsfeld and Saddam, and then read the caption. Click on the caption underneath it. Take like 2 minutes out of your precious lifetime. Fine, look at that phone, man. Wouldn't you think on the day when they captured Saddam Hussein that people would be like falling all over each other, falling on top of each other?
I would think so.
But they're not. We're doing screenless, and we got like little action on there. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQAM, hello.
Do I have Neil Rogers show?
Yes, you do.
Neil, good afternoon. Hello.
Good evening to you. Yes, sir. How quick that was, huh?
Yeah, I'm super shocked. May I comment on Walmart, please?
Go right ahead.
The particular store is on Griffin Road and 67th Avenue. For 10, 12 years, I've gotten my Broward New Times and City Link, used to be Excess, newspapers over there. Once there was some nasty letters in the New Times stating that the magazine, the publication was perverted and rotten and disgusting. A week or two later, guess what? No more news. Pardon me?
It disappeared.
It disappeared. I asked, nobody would tell me. I used the forms to ask the manager, asked to write to the president. They didn't answer me. But then I read something in Playboy magazine in October. They did a big piece on Walmart and its history, founding, and what it does. Mm-hmm. It's obvious. It's Walmart. They don't like what the New Times prints, even though it does.
That's right.
So I think it's horrible.
Censorship is alive and well at Walmart.
You got it, kid.
But if they're selling games that advocate killing all the Haitians and killing the Cubans, then it's okay.
Neil, it's a pleasure to talk to you. It's been years and years. And let me leave you with this. Happy holidays. And I go back to the old days of Craig and his toilet paper cozies. If that ages me, so be it. Take care, guys.
All three of us, I guess. Take care.
Bye-bye.
5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Walmart sucks. See, Dustin Hoffman had it wrong in Rain Man. What he meant to say was Walmart sucks. In fact, I think he really did say that, didn't he? He said Walmart sucks. I think when that movie was made, there was no Walmart yet, was there?
Not yet, I don't think.
Boy, you are. Is he eating? Please tell me the truth.
No, I'm not eating.
You must be. Your blood sugar must be 600 by now. You sound like you're in a condition to like go over in a corner, roll up against the wall, and just take about a 5-hour nap.
I am tired.
Why is that?
I was up late last night.
Doing what?
I was preparing my bedroom for my new queen-size bed from Dial-A-Mattress.
You're preparing your bedroom for your new queen?
Yeah.
Clarence is moving in now.
Well,
that probably is why you got you that king coil mattress.
Yeah, he said he's coming
over. So the two
over.
of you can coil up on it together.
Yep.
Makes me recoil when I think of it. Oh, God. Oh. Anyway, speaking of that, this is perfect. What a segue. Nasty language on live TV renews old debate. You know, that whole thing on the Music Awards show, the Billboard Music Awards last Wednesday night when they had the big contretemps about all the filthy language that got out? Nicole Richie of the Fox reality show The Simple Act prepared to announce a category of nominees on the Billboard Music Awards Wednesday night. Standing alongside her was co-star, hotel heiress Paris Hilton, who warned, "Now, Nicole, remember this is a live show. Watch the bad language." Richie paid no attention, using a vulgar substitute for the exclamation "shoot." This is on what website? Washington Post. God, shoot. The broadcast, which employed a 5-second delay to catch obscenities, bleeped out the offending word, but Richie was one step ahead, wasting no time. Before Fox could hit the dump again, she described her time on The Simple Life, in which she and Hilton live with an Arkansas farm family. She repeated the word and then added one for good measure. She said, "Have you ever tried to get the cow out of a Prada purse?" Richie said, "It's not so simple." Richie's bad words come 2 months after a little noticed and many say nonsensical ruling by the FCC that appeared to sanction what government officials called the F word as long as it's used as an adjective. Critics say the decision further unleashed the potty mouths they believe are taking over radio and television. Members of both parties in Congress are demanding that the FCC crack down harder on broadcasters, while some FCC members want to toughen the penalties the agency imposes. Wait till you hear, members of the Parents Television Council, a group that monitors TV broadcast and whose celebrity advisors include Pat Boone and Jane Seymour, have filed more than 85,000 complaints about broadcast indecency and obscenity at the FCC this year. Pat effing Boone and Jane effing Seymour. You ready for that?
No.
And this, of course, was televised on which network? What reality show got the award? And what network was this on? Fox. Fox. Your right-wing, goose-stomping news network, which makes hay on their racy, ultra-left-wing, ultra-liberal entertainment network. Fox apologized for Richie's words. With the immediacy of live television comes the possibility of action or dialogue that may be offensive to some viewers, the network shared in a prepared statement. We experienced a failure in the system designed to prevent such an occurrence and working to ensure it do not be happening again. How do you like that, huh? What a crock of crap. That's the Fox network, by the way, just in case you didn't get it the first time. Bunch of phonies. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon line, 20 till 1 at QAM. Have you ever tasted one of those meal replacements? Most of them taste like whatever I can't say on the air, like crap. Check out how much sugar they have. Now there's a product that tastes great as sugar-free. In fact, the Beast just had like 15 or 20 of those cans a little while ago. Pretty good, huh?
They are really good, actually.
Anorex Diabetic is truly the best-tasting meal replacement drink ever formulated for people with diabetes and for people looking for a reduced sugar intake. Sweetened with Splenda brand sucralose, no nasty aftertaste like you get with those drinks that use saccharin or aspartame. Anorex Diabetic's complete and balanced nutritional supplement that provides fiber and antioxidants, yet is low in saturated fat and cholesterol. Anorex Diabetic's also gluten-free and lactose-free as well. An 8-ounce can provides 237 calories of deliciously healthy nutrition that's internationally recommended by doctors and dietitians. Don't sacrifice proper nutrition when you're short on time. Try Anorex Diabetic once. You'll never go back to whatever you used before. Makers of Anorex Diabetic are so sure you're going to love it that they're giving away free samples just for the axing. So go to anorexdiabetic.com. That's ENTEREX, anorexdiabetic.com, or call them toll-free at 1-866-368-3739. That's 1-866-368-3739. Tell them that Neil sent you for the delicious 1-866-368-3739.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAM.
There is never a dull moment at Walmart.
I love working at Walmart.
We stay at Walmart way after our shifts are over, partly because we love it, but mostly because they lock us in.
It's more than a store. It's a fun place to visit.
The best thing about being on the Walmart team is not having all those forms and papers that workers with health benefits have to worry about.
You never know what you're going to find at Walmart.
They just come in for the fun of it.
The immigrants are the best at Walmart. They clean our toilets practically for free.
At Walmart, I don't need no stinking green card.
We don't need no badges. I don't have to show you any stinking badges.
It's like my morning routine. Drink coffee and wake up at Walmart.
Walmart sucks, okay? 1245. I think even a trailer trash should avoid at Walmart at all costs. 674 votes on that poll, man. George would be impressed. Even that little gravel oven spick would be impressed. 674. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? It's fine, but where's Osama? 245. The whole invasion was bogus based on lies. 204. That's one small step for humanity, one giant political leap for George W. Bush. 112.
Absolutely.
Fry the Bastard on Channel 7, 67. And, no matter the cost, it was well worth it. 46 people, 6.8%. Who obviously didn't know anybody who died over there. 6.8% said it was well worth it no matter how many innocent people had to die. 5670560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Don't forget Kimba Bowcamper, the Mad Dog at 2, Kimba for Hank at 4 from PP Park. And then you got hours and hours of commercial-loaded radio. 5 to 9, Dolphin. Oh, and speaking of that promo we just played, maybe the Beast, because he doesn't hold back. How come Dave Van Boring gets off so easy? Is he like sharing his wife or something? What's the deal with that?
What do you mean?
Well, why doesn't it? I mean, I'm the only one on this radio station that rips him an ass, and deservedly. He's the most boring human being on the face of the earth.
I think because he's such a nice guy that people are afraid to say anything.
Yeah? Well, look at Mo. You're always ripping on Mo.
Like I said, Dave is a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, he may be a nice guy, but he's inept. He's terminal. He's coma-inducing. Can you believe that they're using that call on that promo? Wouldn't that inspire you to rush right out and just open up your wallet and unload all of your money on season tickets for next year's Marlin season? Oh, what is this? What is this? Oh, that you just faxed me? This has got to be, oh my God. What website, what kind of Dedka file? This is another one of those maniacal lunatics websites?
I actually go to that one every day.
You do?
Yeah.
And what is it?
It's like an Israeli intelligence news website.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oi! Oi!
Indication Saddam was not in hiding, but a captive. A number of questions are raised by the incredibly bedraggled, tired, and crushed condition of this once savage, dapper, and pampered ruler who was discovered in a hole in the ground on Saturday, December 13. 1. The length and state of his hair indicated he had not seen a barber, even had a shampoo for several weeks. Well, there's probably barber shops all over there in Tikrit, you know, where you just go out. No matter how many people are looking for you, right? 2. The wild state of his beard indicated he did not shave for the same period. 3. The hole dug in the floor of a cellar in a farm compound near Tikrit was primitive indeed, 6 feet across and 8 feet across with minimal sanitary arrangements, a far cry from his opulent palaces. Yeah, he probably, if he had any brains, would have just gone back to one of the palaces and hung out for a while, right?
He was right there near one of them anyways.
Sure. 4. Saddam looked beaten and hungry, except for all them candy wrappers and hot dogs. 5. Detained trying to escape were 2 unidentified men. Left with him were 2 AK-47 assault guns and a pistol, none of which were used. Yeah, when you're detaining somebody, don't you always leave them with a couple of AK-47s and a pistol?
I think so.
And $750 grand and $100 bills in a briefcase? 6. The hole only had one opening.
Rectum.
Oh, man! I guess that leaves out Screwan and that book she's writing. That's a bestseller already, by the way.
What book is that?
One in the pink and one in the stink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's on our website. You better get with it, mister. You're out of touch, so to speak.
That's not what Josh says.
You better specify. You better call him Clarence.
Oh, sorry, Clarence. Yeah,
Because
the other Josh is quickly fading. He's about ready to pass out.
Is he really?
Oh, he's got a
Well,
fever. He's coughing.
It wouldn't be the first producer we had pass out in that room, I'll tell you that. Just don't fall on the floor, Josh, and have your eyes start rolling around in your head and puking and things like that.
Hey, by the way, Mark Eisenberg is at the Boca Town Center Mall until 2 o'clock at the west side of the Sears parking lot.
Kind of like an afterthought. Well, we're not that crazy about him anyway. He's a good guy. He's almost as boring as Dave Van Boring. Mark Eisenberg. I thought you were going to tell me Bob Eisenberg was there. That would have really been something. Go on there and tug on Bob's hair. So Mark Eisenberg is where again?
The Boca Town Center Mall, the west side of the Sears parking lot.
Until 2 o'clock. Well, how come we're only finding out about this now?
Obviously it was a mistake. He called me.
Yeah. We were supposed to... Hey, don't blame us, Mark. Nobody told us about it. I got no promo. The old homo don't got no promo. No mo. In addition to which, how much money is he... So what has he got? Has he got our merchandise?
No, he's collecting toys for the Joe Mark toy drive.
Oh, and you know something? You're schmirkling there, but I heard you say it on Joe's show. That's right. I heard you say it. So you knew about it.
I did, yeah.
You're just sandbagging your buddy there.
Well, it's... Joe and Mark, actually, they keep trying to get me to do the overnight show because they think they're going to get 8 to 10.
They're going to get 8 to 10?
Yeah, they think they're going to move to the morning. They keep trying to tell me how great the overnight show is.
Maybe Mark Eisenberg will call in and describe to us just how smelly the hole is. Number 6, the hole only had one opening, and boy did it stink. It was not only camouflaged with mud and bricks, it was blocked. He couldn't have climbed out without somebody on the outside removing the covering. Well, I guess that was the idea, because did you notice there was like a little handle on the styrofoam on the covering on the thing? And he could have just knocked it right out. What kind of crap is that? And 7, most important, $750,000 and $100 notes were found with him. A pittance for his captors expected a $25 million reward, but no communications equipment of any kind, whether cell phone, even a carrier pigeon, for contacting the outside world. Yeah, when you're holding somebody captive, about $750,000. According to Dedka file analysts, these 7 anomalies point to one conclusion. Saddam Hussein was not in hiding. He was a prisoner.
Oi!
Oh, this sounds like the kind of caca and hysteria and paranoia you'll hear on certain radio shows.
Randy.
What?
Hello, Randy.
What?
Are you listening to me?
No.
Oh, and that goes on about, well, Rick Sanchez said this, and Rick Sanchez said that, and Rick Sanchez wants to know how come nobody will watch his TV show. All of these things. Probably because it sucks. Even George said his show was horrible. And this goes on. I'm not going to read this stuff. That you probably printed this out.
I did. I printed the article.
You did?
Yeah, because the guy referred to it, so I wanted you to have the article that he referred to.
Oh, my God. I thought somebody faxed it in. Some of this right-wing hysterical Israeli paranoia. By the way, they showed that fat piece of crap Ariel Sharon yesterday, and he's in there talking about, this threat to, this terrorist threat. And I'm thinking to myself, boy, talk about a terrorist. Just go look in the mirror, you fat tub. Man. What does this say? Oh, I see. This was in connection with this paranoid fax that you sent from Karen. Hey, Karen, the Tooth Fairy lives, and so does God and Santa Claus. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. We got him, baby. We got him. WQAM.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, how you doing today?
Pretty good.
Got 2 things.
Go right ahead.
First thing is, I hate screenless. Because my cell phone provider only lets it ring for 2 minutes and then they cut you off.
I hate that.
No, I hate it too. Also, the thing with this Grand Theft Auto, Vice City, everyone's complaining about it.
Right.
It's not if you played the game or if you know the game, one of your people that works there has the game. It's not just, it doesn't say kill all Haitians, just carte blanche to kill all Haitians.
Well,
they're doing a deal with a Haitian gang. And the Haitian gang is trying to screw them over. So that's why it says kill the Haitians, meaning the Haitian gang.
Yeah.
So, the game's a violent game anyway, so anybody that buys it for that.
What about the Cubans?
That says that too. There's a Cuban gang, there's a Jamaican gang, there's all these gangs that this guy's doing deals with.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Anyway, so, this game's been out a year, and now all of a sudden they're just coming up with this, it says kill all the Haitians in there. Where were they a year ago when the game came out?
They probably just, they're probably picking up the bodies.
Yeah, I hear you. All right.
Have a great day, Pally. Walmart sucks. So what is the deal? Now, you got it. What does it really say?
No, he's right. When you're on a specific mission,
yeah,
targeting a certain gang, it does.
Are you ever going to grow up? What is wrong with you, man? Are you gonna? Well, you know what it is with you, though. See, you got an excuse, a built-in excuse. It's that hurricane thing. You just
what do you mean?
People that go to the U of M, they never grow up. They're going to be little children the rest of their lives. That's why you see all of these silly people, even at the Dolphin games. That's one of the many reasons I stopped going. And I really turned on that whole organization because it's like anything else in South Florida. The fans, most of them are so obnoxious. And they got this like juvenile sophomoric mentality. Well, did you see that Canes game? No, I don't care about the Canes. I went to Michigan State. Oh, did you see the Canes game? And they're wearing their like orange and, or, you know, not even a Dolphin jacket. They're wearing like hurricane paraphernalia to a Dolphin game. That's not right. That's not kosher. Grow up already. Stop with that caca, man. So you can't help yourself. I mean, can you think of anybody ever? Name me one person that we can be proud of that ever attended University of Miami. Name me one.
Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah, okay.
Gloria
Keep
Estefan?
going. Who?
Gloria Estefan?
Right. Tony Cigaretto?
Steve Winwood?
Stevie Winwood?
No, wait,
Get out of here, Stevie Winwood, my ass. Stevie Winwood is English.
Let's see. Huh.
Yeah.
The Rock. The wrestler, The Rock.
You see? The Rock is from Toronto, eh?
No, he's not. He played.
The hell he ain't.
No, he's not from there. He grew up down
What do you
here.
do? He just came here. Is that it?
Yeah.
I see. Well, keep going. So far, you named a bunch of illiterate goofballs.
Me?
Yeah. Yeah. Clarence?
No, he went to Penn.
Clarence went to Penn.
Yeah, he's an Ivy Leaguer.
You guys keep up doing the things that you're doing. He'll be in the pen, all right, especially if Bush gets in another 4 years.
Live and local. This is 560. The radio's all yours now. QAM.
I'm Judge Roy Moore, and the next best thing to watching Ann Coulter spank Matt Drudge is the Neil Rogers Fair and Balanced 1 to 2 hour.
Baby, launch a couple missiles toward a place we know and aim 'em at a fella whose first name begins with O. There's one thing we all understand. Al-Qaeda won't be finished until we blow up Pakistan. We could chase them round forever with our tanks and all our troops, but special forces are so tired of jumping through them hoops. You know we need another plan, so let's cut out all the nonsense and go blow up Pakistan.
Absolutely.
Al-Qaeda needs a nuclear tan.
All right.
Why don't we stop pussyfooting and go blow up Pakistan? Boom, boom.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He almost got his yesterday. Pervert Musharraf in Pakistan. Did you see that? They hit una bomba grande on the road that his entourage was going over, and just seconds after they zipped on by, una bomba grande went off, but didn't get him. Pervert Musharraf. That's really comforting to know in a country that's got all of the nukes, you know, who might have them in their hands. Now, here's a fact that says if the guy that they're parading around is Saddam, he sure has the ability to grow facial hair in huge amounts in 6 months. Ted Kaczynski pales in comparison to that guy. It says it looks like a 2-year-old beard to me. Well, how long does a 2-year-old's beard look? You ever see a 2-year-old with a beard?
I had a beard at 2.
You buying that? Looks like that beard was a 2. I don't think so. Maybe it was a paste on. I have to find out from Mo. He's the expert in phony body parts.
Speaking of which, I just sent you a
716.
fax on Mo.
I beg your pardon?
I just sent you a good fax on Mo.
No. All right, you probably made it up. See, this is what's going on now. The Beast is a little bit upset because he's, kind of laying back. Not getting a chance to, dominate the show, which is what he likes to do. And so now he's sending me fake stump faxes, like that awful Israeli website, all that paranoia. Oh, yeah, it seems logical to me that you leave a guy with 2 AK-47s and a pistol if you're holding him captive, and also 750. Well, maybe he wanted to order carry-out or delivery. You got to make sure he gets well fed. We don't want to see, and they keep showing this thing again where they keep sticking the tongue depressor in there, and they're looking around for stuff, but also they had a cotton swab they stuck in there too to get the DNA sample, which you don't see that part. How many thousand more times do we have to see this today?
About 30, man.
Jesus Christ. Now, what is this? Did you hear this morning Mo at 7:50 say, Jim Mandich will be on at 2. Oh, yeah, he does this every day. This is his new deal, ripping me and Hank. 7:50 this morning. The other day it was the, what the hell was it? Trying to think. Making comments about Hank's size. Let me tell you something, fatso, meaning Mo. You ain't no shrinking violet yourself. He said, Jim Mandich will be on at 2, sandwiched between the toad and the load. Geldy said, is that how you're referring to the noun? Mo pretended he didn't hear him, or maybe his hearing aid battery died. Yeah, every day he's got a different... That's fine, okay? At least he's making some passing reference, which is more than usual, okay? At least he's passing something. Now, the Beast is going to spend most of this hour telling us why he hates Howard David like poison. Oh, an hour isn't enough?
Only an hour, yeah.
5670560, pound 560. So he's now... See, because the audience, if they got any brains at all, if there were any questions, which there shouldn't have been, when they used to ask, well, is this shtick or is this real? There's nothing shticky about it, okay? Other than, no. Everybody hates him like poison. Everybody. Not just me, not just George, not just the Beast, not just, Joe Rose, not just the Mad Dog, not just the Humper, who hates him like poison. Like absolute poison.
That was funny.
But everybody in the building. So that's why the guy doesn't show up at the Christmas party or the ratings party, because he knows he has no allies there. For a while there, he was sucking out of Joe and Mark. He was trying to make them the allies, And then even when Joe Rose started attacking him on the weekends, then he started even trying to suck up to me again. Remember those days? Oh, I should have known all along it was your shtick. Neil is a real panic. He's funny. But it's Joe Rose who's the son of a bitch. See, because he realizes there's no credibility when everybody in the building hates you like poison and everybody is ripping you an ass, and deservedly so. Too late. Too late. Nothing you can do about it. I think his biggest problem...
He's got a big heart on.
That might... For everybody. I gotta play that thing again, you know what? I'm so...
I want to give you an update of what took place just now off the air, because I think it's important you hear this. Howard just called the radio station, Howard David, who I get along with great, I thought. He called me an asshole, saying I was trying to stir it up. My point back to Howard is don't listen. Listen to 101.5. Let me see, what age group? 101.5 for Howard, maybe 102.7. Some easily listening love music so you could focus on your wife and your family and the grandkids instead of listening and always calling the radio station. He's becoming Howard the caller, like Howard from Boca. Howard from Boca. It's like, it's okay. So anyway. He's listening, so just wanted to get the message out, and don't call my show, too, just for a record. Don't call off the air, because I don't want to talk to you, and I don't want to hear you on the private line. Congratulations, you know the private line number, that's great, but don't call because you're not coming on this show. You've got your 3 hours, 5 to 8, Monday through Friday. You can talk all you want, but you're not coming on this show, and we'll leave it at that. All right? I got nothing against you. You seem like a decent person. And I know you've been taking a big hit on the radio station from everybody else, but it's over. Me and you, done.
You can kiss my rear end.
I'm listening.
Well, good for you. 106 at 560 WQAM. So I just mentioned that in passing. What does that have to do with the price of peanuts? I don't know. It's just well worth it, right, at the holiday time of the year when we're in good cheer, want to spread a little joy and love. 732 votes on the poll. We're going to top 800, I'll guarantee you that. Which in itself could be close to a record. What's your take on a capture of Saddam Hussein? It's fine, but where's Osama? 260. The whole invasion was bogus, based on lies, 229. That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush, 122. Fry the Bastard on Channel 771, and no matter the cost, it was well worth it, 50. 6.8%. Well worth it. WQAM. Not there. QAM, hello. Not there. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. WQM, hello.
Hello, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
Well, my take on it is I'm happy. I'm happy it's over and done with, providing that it's really Saddam.
Mm-hmm.
But now we need to shine the spotlight on the Osama bin Laden character.
Yeah.
The, sort of like a shade out there, just a shadow, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to focus on taking him
well,
out.
it's easy to say focus on it, but the problem, and they had several, I don't know if you saw it yesterday, but all the networks showed comparisons between the terrain in Iraq and the terrain in, because they all think that Osama is either in Pakistan or Afghanistan, right along the border, and the mountains there. And it's almost impossible to find somebody there. In addition to which, they have to rely for intelligence on the peasants who live there, who are still living in the Stone Age with their mules, their donkeys, and their asses.
Right, that's true. And also another thing I might want to mention, and this goes back into the 80s. Once we capture Osama bin Laden and we deal with him accordingly, whether we take him to court or he gets shot or stoned to death, who knows what we'll decide when that happens. But let's not forget our old Colonel Muhammad Gaddafi. We got to still deal with him. He was one of the biggest terrorists back in the 80s before Al-Qaeda and bin Laden came into effect. So we should also focus on him.
Under, man. He's got naked pictures of somebody now. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T and Verizon wireless line. Old Muammar, he's old news. WQAM.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How's it going over there?
It's going great over here.
What's the weather like?
It's a little snow on the ground, not too bad. It's a little chilly. It's all right.
It's actually pretty nice here today. You'd probably be pretty happy with the weather over here.
Well, that's great.
So I wake up yesterday, and the first thing I see on my TV is we captured Saddam.
Yes, sir.
And my immediate response was, George Bush just got himself reelected.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's the right mentality, and I don't know how many other people share in that mentality. I know that's not what I want.
Yeah,
but,
I agree. I agree with you. I think that was the first thing that came to my mind, is that, they're playing the whole thing, just like on the anniversary of 9/11, in 2002, and they played the anniversary with like a fiddle man. They have just played the American public like you wouldn't believe, so they can stay in there for fun and profit for all their buddies in big business. That's what it's all about.
It's like what you said. Half the American public really thought that Saddam Hussein had something to do with 9/11, which he had absolutely nothing to do with 9/11.
So you can imagine now, with all the focus on him and the capture, now it's probably like 70% who think, oh boy, this is really a great step in the war on terror. Because that's what Bush keeps saying, as if this has something to do with it.
Now, if the glass is half full, this is a real big opportunity for the Democratic Party to make a statement, take a stand, and really show their balls, you know what I mean? Really show what they got and see if they can really overtake him, because he's going to be at the height of his, as high as he's going to be until, this is as good as could have happened to Bushy.
Well, don't forget, though, the timing may be a little bit premature. It's still 11 months away from the election. A lot of crap can happen between now and next November.
This is true. We'll see what the economy does, and we'll see how many more feet he can place in his mouth from now till then.
Exactly.
Have a good one.
Good luck to us, pal. Thanks. 567-0560, pound 560 on the AT&T. But as far as the Democrats showing their balls, man, there were a lot of smoothies out there yesterday. The only ones with the big balls were Al Sharpton, Wes Clark, and Bob Graham, who's already dropped out. Nice going, beady odd Bob. What a shame about Bobby Graham, you know? That number one, he's a very weak speaker, number one. And number two, he's got a crappy heart, you know? Although I think he would qualify for VP, right? Along with Clark or Dean.
I think that's what he's playing for, is the VP.
I hope so, because he could help win Florida, help win the South. And we already have one president with a crappy heart. What's wrong with that? Maybe it's like setting a tradition. 567-0560, pound 560. Are we going to make the 900 votes or not? Let me just take a look. We're going for a record today on the poll. 746. What do you think? You got 49 minutes. Huh?
154 in about 40 minutes, 50 minutes.
Could do it. Could do it if everybody hops on it. Right now it's 12 minutes after 1 at 560 WQM. Don't forget the Dolphins are going to get pounded by the Eagles tonight. We don't want you to feel too bad about it. Unless the Eagles fail to show up like the Cowboys did on Thanksgiving Day. That does happen once in a while. That's the only thing that Dolphin fans can hold out some hope for, is that the real Eagle team, just, you know, what do they won? 8 or 9 in a row now since Rush opened up a big mouth? About McNabb, remember that? He opened up a mouth, and since then they haven't lost a game. You don't know the number? 8 in a row or 9 in a row. He's not paying any attention to anything I'm
No,
saying.
I didn't hear what you asked.
No, I was asking how many in a row the Eagles have won. It's at least 8.
Yeah,
and maybe 9.
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, what the hell is this? Oh, bada beep, bada boop, bada bop. Hey, I'm on the air doing a radio show, Bill. My good buddy Bill down there. They don't get it. Anyway, it's that time of the year again, and everybody's going to be by your home for the holidays if they're not there already. Great idea, especially when the holidays are all over and you want to get your house looking back to normal again and looking like brand spanking new after the mess that all your company leaves. Call my good friends at Dry Concepts. And when you do call Dry Concepts, ask them to put you on their standby list, which will save you an extra 15% off the already low price of the phenomenal job they do for you. They've been around in town for well over 20 years. I've been using them in my house for over 20 years. And if your carpets need cleaning, man, there's no reason you ought to call anybody else. Because nobody else in the world dry cleans your carpet. Same idea as dry cleaning your clothing, which leaves them smelling lemony fresh, looking like brand new. And because your carpets stay cleaner longer, they last longer as well. And believe me, it'll look like a miracle just happened on your floor. Nobody does it better. So if you've got a half a brain in your head, you'll call Dry Concepts and let them put your house back in tip-top shape. Call toll-free 1-800-248-5071. 1-800-248-5071, or look them up on the web at dryconcepts.com.
We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Season Bechtel introduces the Saudi Barbie. Seems our Saudi friends were upset with the old Barbie since all blondes named Barbie are Jewish. So the good patriots at Bechtel redesigned her to make Barbie Saudi friendly. Because as you know, the Saudis are our friends. They liked us. It had nothing to do with 9/11. 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 So to cater to our Saudi friends by sliding our tongue further up their smelly hole, meet Alaba Barbie. She comes complete with a sand display that lets you bury her up to her neck when she fails to obey. For major offenses, Bandar Ken will yank her head off with a chain, towed behind a realistic Humvee. Bandar Ken sold separately. The no longer Jewish Alaba Barbie, now resembling Barbara Eden, who was Jewish. You can tell it's Bechtel. It's swell.
117 at 560 WQM, 774 votes. We need 126 in 43 minutes. Think we can do it? No.
By the way, it's 8 in a row.
Eagles have won 8 in a row, like I said. So as I was saying before, if they don't show up tonight and they just, it's possible, then the Dolphins could luck out. But if the real Eagle team shows up, because who the hell did they beat last week, the Eagles? They just toyed with the opposition. They do it week after week. They diddle around with them. Then when it's like in a horse race, when a far superior horse is in a race, and they just kind of like toy with the field, and they get to the top of the stretch and step on the gas, and bing, away they go, Like Secretariat in the stretch in the Belmont. Insurers paid clergy sex claims. An Archdiocese of Miami report says its insurers paid $9.3 million to settle claims of sexual misconduct by priests, lay personnel, and religious brothers and sisters. Insurers for the Archdiocese of Miami have paid $9.3 million, says a church report released over the weekend, since it began insurance coverage in 1966. The payments covered some of the Archdiocese's 90 abuse claims by minors through December 1, but church officials couldn't say exactly how many. Nor could they say how much the Archdiocese paid for such coverage, or whether it also resolved any claims from its own resources. No parish money is used for this, including donations, Archdiocese spokeswoman Mary Ross Augusta said yesterday. One Florida lawyer who's battled the Catholic Church over sexual abuse complaints for 2 decades says he believes that the numbers in the report are misleading. The attorney, Sheldon Stevens of Cocoa Beach, says the Archdiocese may have received abuse complaints against 38 priests since 1958, but that figure should be considered a minimum. How many?
About 30, man.
8. Based upon the history of the behavior of the victims, many of the abuses are not reported, said Stevens, who has brought 50 complaints against the Catholic Church in Florida, including 3 involving priests in the Archdiocese of Miami. The number reported by the Archdiocese actually only represents a percentage of the priests who engaged in that kind of conduct, he said. The Archdiocese report also said its insurers paid a total of $5.5 million to cover some of the 64 claims submitted for religious misconduct by priests only. And the article goes on. It was in today's Herald. This is what really gets me about you suckers out there that continue subsidizing this insanity. People are starving to death, and you're putting money in a collection plate so that the Catholic priest can continue going on molesting little kids. That's basically what it boils down to. Keep molesting. It's like Michael Jackson all over again. Keep molesting and then paying off people to shut up and go away. Lovely. Speaking of crazy religionists, you're not going to like this story too much, beast. Guess who picked Palm Beach County as a battleground to convert the Jews?
Who's that?
The Jews for Jesus.
Oi!
Competing Jewish outreach and Christian Messianic organizations waged separate battles over the weekend to win the followers of Judaism over. About 250 supporters of Jews for Jesus gathered Friday night at FAU in Boca for a religious concert that began with a Hebrew prayer and the lighting of Sabbath candles. I have one thing to say to the Jews for Jesus. Kaxachois. They clapped, sang, and danced as they affirmed their claim that one can be Jewish and believe in Jesus at the same time. No. I still say that's like Jews for Hitler, you know. It's kind of difficult. To blunt their message, about 75 backers of the American Jewish Committee heard speakers Sunday night at Temple Bethel of Boca reject the argument that Jesus was the long-promised Messiah and affirm that when someone accepts Jesus, he or she rejects Judaism. They called the Messianic group's tactics deceptive and inappropriate. Palm Beach County is the setting of a theological clash that ignited December 8th when the Jews for Jesus ministry began targeting the area as part of the Behold Your God campaign aimed at hitting 65 areas with 25,000 more Jews by 2006. Gotta get them before it's too late. Backed by a number of area churches, as well as Messianic-style congregations that share its outlook of evangelizing Jews, Jews for Jesus, founded 30 years ago,
about 30, man,
has a budget of more than $24 million, offices around the world, and a full-time paid staff of 240. They're part of the Messianic Jewish movement. It's not a Jewish movement. They're part of the Messianic Jewish movement, says the Sun Sentinel, made of Jewish-born Christians who believe that Jesus fulfilled Hebrew prophecies of a Messiah. Estimates of their numbers range from 75,000 to 250,000. Every Jew is precious. Leonard Greenberg. I guess he hasn't met Mo yet, huh? Every Jew is precious, Leonard Greenberg, president of Palm Beach County's chapter of the American Jewish Committee, said at Temple Bethel. We can't afford to lose any of our brethren. The Jews for Jesus blitz has brought to the area 3 or 4, by the way, don't you love blintzes?
Oh.
Yeah.
The sour cream and applesauce, so good.
No, not applesauce. Oh, that's applesauce.
I mix it together.
Applesauce is for potato latkes, you idiot.
No, I put on
with like either strawberry or cherry or blueberry topping. Man. I might get some cheese blintzes for lunch today. I think you got me all excited about it. The Jews for Jesus Blitz has brought to the area 3 or 4 dozen evangelists wearing T-shirts and driving vans sporting the Jews for Jesus logo. I've seen that. It makes me sick. They're passing out Jews for Jesus literature in about 30 locations.
About 30, man.
Including malls. Also part of the operation have been direct mail, phone calls, and the FAU concert where the crowd included South Floridians with a broad mix of races and religious backgrounds. Some said they were born Jewish and accepted Messianic Judaism as adults. Others became Messianic Jews after marrying Christians. And some were Christians who just said, oh God, that's good. Who felt a kinship with Jews. Reggie Douglas, 52, a born-again Christian from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, said he was traveling around the country with Jews for Jesus. I felt like the Jewish people needed to hear the gospel of Jesus, and I wanted to bring it to them. He said, no thanks. We'll take the blintzes instead. People attending the Friday celebration said they were acutely aware their beliefs threaten many Jews. This is a 2,000-year-old debate, said Ira Brower, 53, Eitz Chaim spiritual leader. Jesus is a Jewish man. Whether or not we believe in him, why does that not make us Jewish? Robbie Benson's a Jewish man, okay? What does that have to do with the price of peanuts in Peoria? Brewer said he was raised in New York by parents who escaped Hitler's Germany in World War II, and at age 30,
about 30, man,
after studying the Old and New Testaments, Brewer came to the conclusion Jesus had to be the Messiah. And my comment to you, sir, would be, and you have to be crazy. Much of the Messianic Jewish movement's logic is flawed and dressed up in Jewish clothing, said Scott Hillman during the Temple Bethel meeting. He's the Baltimore director of Jews for Judaism. This is starting to sound like the life of Brian all over again. You got the Jews for Jesus, the Jews for Judaism, the Jews for insanity. Wow. Hillman played a video showing how Messianic Jews use patriotic Jewish songs and biblical verses to twist their message to unsuspecting Jews, especially in the atheist states of the former Soviet Union. Oh, look out for them atheists. It's a slick marketing technique. They perfected it over 30 years, Hillman said.
About 30, man.
Jews for Jesus plans to continue its Palm Beach County campaign till December 23rd. The American Jewish Committee and Hillman's organization vow to follow its every step and counteract the messages. So in other words, it's the Jews for Judaism against the Jews for Jesus. That good old-time religion again, man. And like the bee said, we'll take the cheese blintzes, thank you. That's why I am a dietary Jew. A gastronomical Jew. All I care about is the food.
I like bagels.
I can't eat bagels. They make me sick. They got yeast. All that yeast. Who the hell needs bagels? I'm talking about potato pancakes. I'm talking about kishki. I'm talking about cheese blintzes.
Kreplach.
Kreplach is great. Hamantaschen at Purim time, man. There ain't nothing like good Hamantaschen.
You should see the look on Josh's face right now.
He doesn't have any idea what we're talking about. Good. See, us Jews, we talk in code, Josh. To keep going like you in the dark. We talk in code. 700. That's right. We use terms that you don't understand, so you're kind of like left out in the code.
Like Simus.
Carrot Simus? I don't like that, to be honest with you. You like Carrot Simus?
Yeah, it's okay.
Feh. As they say in Peoria, feh. We're on the verge of 800 votes. 788. We got a shot at 900, like Jimmy Johnson would say. We got a shot. Just like the Dolphins have against the Eagles tonight. We got a shot. Well, isn't it just great to see the way the Patriots are just steamrolling through the league this year? It's such a beautiful thing. And watching that thing yesterday. In fact, you do realize if it weren't for like a couple of drop balls, that it would have been just a total rout. I mean, it was really 27-6, and then they got a late touchdown, 27-13. But it would have been, they could have scored like 45 points in the snow and on the whole deal. But there were some drop balls. Now, let me a little advice for all you Patriot running backs, because what was the running back's name that kept dropping the ball?
Huh?
See, are you aware of there was a game played? You are about as useless today as teats on a frog, man. But anyway, and also one of the wide receivers dropped a couple. But when you got your hands on one of Tommy Brady's balls, man, you don't drop it. Do you know what I'm saying?
It was either Antoine Smith or Kevin Falk.
It was neither one of them.
Mike Cloud? Oh, Larry Centers dropped the ball in the end zone.
There's the one. Larry Centers kept dropping the balls, man. Let me say it again. When Tom Brady stick that ball in your hand, hold it tight, squeeze it. One of the best kept dining secrets in South Florida is in Coral Springs, and of course it's the Gold Coast Seafood Grill. They just celebrated their 1-year anniversary and got 3.5 stars from the prestigious Sun Sentinel Showtime Dining Review. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill's got fantastic specialties that'll just turn on your taste buds, like mango plum salmon, almond-crusted mahi-mahi, orange honey glazed sea bass, and the crab and shrimp stuffed trout. There's a great bar atmosphere, too, you'll enjoy with extensive wine and martini list. Big, fat, gigantic martinis at the Gold Coast Seafood Grill during happy hour, only $5.50 every day, 7 days a week, between 4 and 7 in the p.m. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill is in Coral Springs, 2752 North University Drive, inside the beautiful Walk Shopping Center. For more information and reservations, call 954-255-FISH, as in squish the fish. You can dine inside or outside. Large parties and private functions welcome, too. Experience the best-kept secret in lunch and dinner dining. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill in Coral Springs at 2752 North University Drive inside the prestigious Walk Shopping Center. The Gold Coast Seafood Grill. I'll bet you Greg Reed's life on it. You'll always find great seafood at unbeatable prices, too.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560 QAM.
Over here.
Jesus Christ for extra strength, Dexedrine. When you're getting crucified, the last thing you need is a headache. There's so much pressure. Hanging around with the whole world's sins weighing on your shoulders. And then some fucking gladiator sticks a spear in your side.
Yeah!
Jesus Christ, that hurts. So when this thorny crown feels like a vice around my head, that's when I reach for Dexedrine. Well, I don't reach for it.
Hey! Anybody got any Dexedrine? Hey, Judas! Could you throw a couple into my mouth? Come on, I'm the Savior, for Christ's sake!
Extra strength Dexedrine. Because a headache is a heavy cross to bear.
132 at 560. 801 votes on the poll. How do you like that?
Oh!
We got a shot, I'm telling you, at 900. You think in a half an hour? Can we do it?
Sure.
I got, while you're voting on the poll, I got a great article that I just printed out. William Rivers Pitt, one of my favorite New York Times bestselling author with 2 books, War on Iraq and The Greatest Edition is Silence. His book, Our Flag Too, The Paradox of Patriotism, will be available in August. Anyway, this is what he writes. He says, it's not over. Saddam Hussein, former employee of the American federal government, was captured near a farmhouse in Tikrit in a raid performed by other employees of the American federal government. That sounds pretty deranged, right? Perhaps, but it's also accurate. The unifying thread binding together everyone assembled at that Tikrit farmhouse is the simple fact that all of them, the soldiers as well as Hussein, have received pay from the U.S. for services rendered. It is no small irony that Hussein, the butcher of Baghdad, the monster under your bed of these last 12 years, was paid probably 10,000 times more during his time as an American employee than the soldiers who caught him on Saturday night. The boys in the Reagan White House were generous with your tax dollars, and Hussein was a recipient of their largesse for the better part of a decade. If this were a Tom Clancy movie, we'd be watching the dramatic capture of Hussein somewhere in the last 10 minutes of the tale. The bedraggled dictator would be put on public trial for his crimes, sentenced to several thousand concurrent life sentences, and dragged off to prison in chains. The anti-American insurgents in Iraq, seeing the sudden futility of their fight to place Hussein back into power, would lay down their arms and melt back into the countryside. For dramatic effect, more than a few would be cornered by SEAL teams in black face paint and discreetly shot in the back of the head. The president would speak with eloquence as the marshal's score swelled around him. Fade to black, roll credits, get off my plane. The real-world version is certainly not lacking in drama. The streets of Baghdad were thronged on Sunday with mobs of Iraqi people celebrating the final removal of a despot who had haunted their lives since 1979. Their joy was utterly unfettered. Images on CNN of Hussein looking for all the world like a Muslim version of Charles Manson while getting checked for head lice by an American medic was as surreal as anything one might ever see on a television. Unfortunately, the real-world script has a lot of pages left to be turned. Former UN Weapons Inspector Scott Ritter reached his home on Sunday, said, "It's great that they caught him. The man was a brutal dictator who committed terrible crimes against his people, but now we come to the rest of the story. We didn't go to war to capture Saddam Hussein. We went to war to get rid of weapons of mass destruction. Those weapons have not been found." Ray McGovern, senior analyst and 27-year veteran of the CIA, echoed Ritter's perspective yesterday. "It's wonderful that he was captured because now we'll find out where the weapons of mass destruction," McGovern said, with tongue firmly planted in cheek. "We killed his sons before they could tell us." Indeed, reality intrudes. The push for war before March was based on Hussein's possession of 26,000 liters of anthrax, 38,000 liters of botulinum toxin, 1 million pounds of sarin gas, mustard gas, and VX nerve gas, along with 30,000 munitions to deliver these agents and uranium for Niger to be used in nuclear bombs. And let us not forget the al-Qaeda terrorists closely associated with Hussein who would take this stuff and use it against the main streets and back roads of the United States. When they found Hussein hiding in that dirt hole in the ground, none of this stuff was down there with him. The full force of the American military has been likewise unable to locate it anywhere else. There's no evidence of al-Qaeda agents working with Hussein, and Bush was forced some weeks ago to publicly acknowledge that Hussein had nothing to do with 9/11. The Niger uranium story was debunked last summer. Conventional wisdom now holds that none of this stuff was there to begin with, and all the clear statements from virtually everyone of the Bush administration squatting on the public record describing the existence of this stuff now looks like what it was then. A lot of overblown rhetoric and outright lies designed to terrify the American people into supporting an unnecessary go-it-alone war. Said war made a few Bush cronies rich beyond the dreams of avarice while allowing some hawks in the Defense Department to play at empire building, something they've been craving for more than 10 years. Of course, the rhetoric mutated as the weapons stubbornly refused to be found. By the time Bush did his little mission accomplished strut across the aircraft carrier, the occupation was about the removal of Saddam Hussein and the liberation of the Iraqi people. No longer were we informed on a daily basis of the sinister nexus between Hussein and al-Qaeda, as described by Colin Powell before the UN in February. No longer were we fed the insinuations that Hussein was involved in the attacks of 9/11. Certainly, any and all mentions of weapons of mass destruction ceased completely. We were instead embarking on some noble democratic experiment. The capture of Saddam Hussein and the Iraqis dancing in the streets of Baghdad feeds nicely into these newly minted explanations. Mr. Bush and his people will use this as the propaganda coup it is, and to great effect. But a poet once said something about tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. We are not fighting for Saddam, said an Iraqi named Kashmir Ahmed Saleh in the New York Times report a week ago. We're fighting for freedom and because the Americans are Jews. The governing council is a bunch of looters and criminals and mercenaries. We cannot expect that the stability in this country will ever come from them. The principle is based on religion and tribal loyalties, continued Saleh. The religious principle is that we cannot accept to live with the infidels. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be on him, said, hate the infidels wherever you find them. We also are a tribal people. We can't allow strangers to rule over us. Welcome to the new Iraq. The theme that the 455 Americans killed there and the thousands of others who have been wounded fell at the hands of the pro-Hussein loyalists is now gone. The Bush administration's celebrations over this capture will appear quite silly and premature when the dying continues. Whatever Hussein bitter enders there are will be joined by Iraqi nationalists who will now see no good reason for American forces to remain. After all, the new rhetoric highlighted the removal of Hussein as the reason for this invasion, and that task has been completed. Yet American forces are not leaving and will not leave. The killing of our troops will continue because of people like Kashid Ahmed Saleh. All Hussein's capture did for Saleh was remove from the table the idea that he was fighting for the dictator. He is free now and the war will begin in earnest. The dying will continue because America's presence in Iraq is a wonderful opportunity for a man named Osama bin Laden who was not captured on Saturday. Bin Laden, it's been reported, is thrilled by what's happening in Iraq and plans to throw as much violence as he can muster at American forces there. The Bush administration spent hundreds of billions of dollars on this Iraq invasion, not one dime of which went toward the capture or death of the fellow who brought down the towers a couple of years ago. For bin Laden and his devotees, Iraq is better than Disneyland. For all the pomp and circumstance that surrounded the extraction of the former Iraqi dictator from a hole in the ground, the reality is that the United States is not one bit safer now than the man is in chains. There will be no trial for Hussein, at least nothing in public, because he might start shouting about the back pay he's owed from his days as an employee of the American government. Because another former employee of the American government named Osama is still alive and free, our troops are still in mortal danger in Iraq. Hussein was never a threat to the United States. His capture means nothing to the safety and security of the American people. The money we spent to put the bag on him might have gone toward capturing bin Laden, who is a threat, but that didn't happen. We can be happy for the people of Iraq because their Hussein problem is over. Here in America, our Hussein problem is just beginning. The other problem, that Osama fellow we should have been trying to capture this whole time, remains perched over our door like the raven. Another great column, as always, William Rivers Pitt. Oh, speaking of pits, that's a bad segue. Florida woman killed by pit bulls. You see that story?
Nope.
Is he eating, Josh?
No.
Is he shoveling? You are?
I'm not eating.
Yeah, you are.
I am not. The only thing I had all day was that great, delicious shake.
You were eating cheese blintzes with
I wish.
applesauce.
I mean, if Corky's wanted to bring some over, I would.
Hey, maybe Corky's will bring us not cheese blintzes. They'll bring us some potato pancakes and brisket tomorrow.
Ooh.
7. This is in Citra, Florida. You ever hear of Citra? It's 80 miles northwest of Orlando.
No
north
idea
of Ocala. 7 pit bulls escaped from their owner's home and mauled an 82-year-old neighbor to death Friday. Alice Broom died at Monroe Regional Medical Center in Ocala. Broom was found by the dog's owner, Robert Freeman, 67. He said the dogs were attacking the woman when he arrived. Speculated the attack had gone on for at least 10 minutes. Lovely. The dogs were seized by the county animal control officials. Freeman was not immediately charged with the crime, said he told county officers, destroy the dog. How do you like that? At least he didn't pussyfoot around, destroy the dogs, kill them. Leave me alone, but destroy the dogs. See, I don't know. There's something about people with pit bulls. I think people with pit bulls also shop at Walmart.
Live and local. We're Sports Radio 560 QAM.
And now it's time for another edition of Professor Mo.
Hiya, boys and girls. Welcome back to another electrifying notification. Today, we're going to learn about aromatherapy. Now, if my illustrious assistant will give me a hand.
What? You said give me a hand.
Up my ass, dildo breath. Now get out of there. I know what you're doing. I know who's behind this. Certain people. Certain people.
What are you talking about?
Never mind that now. We're going to demonstrate the infectious aromatherapy today. All right?
Okay.
Now, here, smell my finger.
But
Get up and smell my finger.
Okay.
Now, you'll notice, boys and girls, that Gelby is smelling my finger.
Can't do it.
Stay right there and smell my finger. And don't move. Tell the boys and girls out there if it smells like pizza.
It smells like doo-doo.
You keep it right there under your nose until it starts smelling like pizza.
Why does it smell
I
like...
had up my ass all morning, but that shouldn't matter. I had cold pizza for breakfast. Now obey your dominant master.
I'm going to pass out. If I have to keep doing this.
Listen, you want to smell my feet instead?
No.
That's a good slave. Smell my finger. You ever smell a real woman? Yeah, but not like the ones back in my day. Back then the broads had a rainforest running up their crack to the armpits. What are you dead?
146, 14 till 2 at 560 WQM. We're not going to make our 900, I don't think. 833. 833 votes on the poll.
Still
got a
pretty
shot.
good,
huh?
That's still a pretty good number, though.
We got a shot. No, when it gets to be 2 o'clock, I'd like to see that roll right over to 900. So I can say...
We did it!
Yeah.
We did it!
Why the hell not?
Hey, we got him.
Gonna happen. Hop on it, baby. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? There he is again. How many times have we seen that this last half hour on CNN?
About 30, man.
Oh, there's Teddy Botswana down in the Kendall. Hey, Teddy, blow it out your ass. Although I will play the bong song in honor of the beast being there. But, I'm not coming to Kendall. I lived in Kendall for 5 years, Teddy. That was enough. It was because of people like you that I moved out. That guy's got a George Rodriguez blow-up doll. Do you know it, Teddy in Kendall?
I lived in Kendall for a while. I moved out, too.
Right. Even the beast got the hell out of there. Oh, Man, the traffic, the nobody speaks English no more, all that stuff. Now you're going to be depressed when you hear this.
Oh.
Poll capture boosts Americans' confidence.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
The capture of Saddam Hussein boosted confidence among Americans polled yesterday, most of whom agreed the Iraqi war was worth fighting and the search for weapons of mass destruction would be successful. Right. The respondents also were confident that Iraq would establish a stable government, that the U.S. would find al-Qaeda terror leader Osama bin Laden. Of those polled, 62% agreed it was worth going to war. The previous high was 63% August 25th and 6th. More than half of those polled, 54%, said they were very confident or somewhat confident that the elusive chemical and biological weapons would be found. The allegation that Saddam's regime was harboring such unconventional weapons, it goes on. Let's see. The level of confidence was the highest since March 29th and 30th, 84%, about 10 days after the start of the war. The poll by CNN, 664 idiots older than 18. And I want to tell you the kind of stuff that CNN does to show how they word their poll. The poll they were taking yesterday on their website, will the capture of Saddam Hussein help bring stability to Iraq, yes or no? I mean, that's like saying, which is better, good or bad, good or evil, you know? What a stupid act. And it came out like 63 to 37% yes. But I mean, what kind of a rigged poll is that? Is this better than it was before? Yeah, but, oh, no buts. 68% of respondents said they were very or somewhat confident that bin Laden would be captured. Other responses, which make you heave again. 67% were very or somewhat confident that Iraq would become a democracy, somewhat fewer than the 75% in late March. 60% were very or somewhat confident the attacks by insurgents in Iraq would be stopped. Based on what, I have no idea. And 45% said they were planning to vote to re-elect Bush next year, even before the capture, while 43% they hadn't planned to vote for him and still won't. Oh, well, that's good news. So in other words, as of yesterday, maybe it didn't sink in yet, or maybe it's not going to sink in. 45% said they were definitely planning to vote for Bush next year. 43% said they weren't going to vote for him before, and they still won't. To which we say, all right. An overwhelming majority, 82%, believed Saddam's capture was a major achievement. 48% of those polled believe that Saddam should be tried in international court versus an Iraqi or U.S. military court in outcomes. What a bunch of assholes at CNN. No wonder the American public is mostly like that. Just like that. Don't forget, Mark Eisenberg is out at somewhere till 2 o'clock. Sorry, Mark. Where is he?
The Boca Town Center, the west side of the Sears parking lot.
I bet you he's... And bring your toys for Joe and Mark's annual toy drive for Christmas. And Chinooka. You think it's probably a little bit too late? And if you talk real nice to Mark, maybe he can indoctrinate you and get you into Jews for Jesus in Boca. Maybe he can hook you up with the right people. Anyway, here's the poll so far. What's your take on the capture of Saddam Hussein? What do we got? 843. I don't think we're going to make it. We got 10 minutes for 57 votes. That's almost impossible, isn't it? 846. 54 votes in 10 minutes. What do you think? No?
Doubtful.
What's your take on the capture of Saddam? It's fine, but where's Osama? 290. The whole invasion was bogus based on lies. 272. That's one small step for humanity and one giant political leap for George W. Bush. 148. Fry the bastard on Channel 782, and no matter the cost, it was well worth it. 54.
Live and local. This is Sports Radio 560. QAQAM.
This one is to let all you people know how us stoners feel. You know, real high. Can you pass the brownies? Look at that pot, so glorious. At the age of 9, I was curious, so I asked my mom for some cannabis to smoke before school on the bus. Tell my friends to love the pot every day, every night. We just can't stop. One day we even choked up with a cop, smoking a big fat hookah. Say I plant my seeds for my weed. When shit was free. Gonna run again. Say I plant my seeds for my weed for my bong. Let me smoke that bong, baby. That bong. I love it when I smoke the bong, just like Cheech and Chong. Yeah. That bong. Look at that pot, so glorious. At the age of 9, I was curious, so I asked my mom for some cannabis. Used to smoke before school on the bus. Got my friends to love the pot. Every day of an out, we just can't stop. One day we even toked up with a cop. Smoking a big fat hookah. Say I plant my seeds. For my weed. Weed. When shit we're free. Gonna roll it again. Say I plant my seeds. For my weed. For my bong. Let me smoke that bong.
Yes.
Baby. That bong. I love when I smoke the bong. Just like Cheech and Chong. Yeah. That bong. Hey, Jimmy, man. Yeah, pass it right over here. Oh, yeah.
157 at 560, WQM. I'm disappointed. We can't say we did it. We done it. We got it. 878. And then we just stopped. We were rolling along. I thought we might actually have like an outside shot for 900 votes on a poll, and we just stopped at 878.
I got 884.
Oh, you got 884?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. We got 3 minutes 16. That's a little over 5 a minute. You got 884.
Yeah.
Well, you're ahead of me. How the hell did that happen?
Must be the great internet in this building.
That must be it. 884, just like you said only moments ago. Okay, well, we got 16 and 2 minutes and 40 seconds to get to 900. Because I want to say, we did it! I want to be able to say that, but I probably won't. And I won't say it unless we did. Anyway, in the meantime, don't forget, you got some big appearances. Mark Eisenberg's got another 2.5 minutes out at in Boca at the Town Mall. You want to zip right out there and see him with your toys. Now, it would have been nice, but Miguel screwed up again, and that's probably because he's under a lot of pressure. He doesn't want to get suspended like you know who. And tomorrow, we're going to have a van hit with our Best Deal merchandise. Now, this ought to be big tomorrow, okay? So let's pick a good location. Put your skull cap on and think about someplace real good. We'll decide in the morning.
Kendall?
No, George was just down in Kendall. Let's like somewhere where we might have some people who speak English and where we have an audience. We'll think about it tomorrow early. And then we'll send the van out from 11 to 2. And the reason I say it's good is because you got Chinooka coming up real quick. We're only like 10 days away from Christmas Day. So everybody wants to give a really neat or great gift idea, Best Deal CD, or maybe one of those really nifty collector's items. Mo Howard David a keychain, which will be really worth a lot of money after he gets canned in a few weeks. So you want one of those. Let's take a look. Are you refreshing? Or
889.
889. We got 11 to go. We got 2.5 minutes for 11 votes. That should be a piece of cake. Huh? To set the record. 900. We've never, even during Alien, we never, and look at that, I'm trying to refresh it, and it won't because it means there's a lot of people on there voting. Come on. You can do it. Take a look at it. Take a peek at it. Is yours refreshing?
No, it won't do it either.
No, that's because it's all loaded up now.
896.
896. We only need FOMO, baby. FOMO. How come yours didn't, mine won't? How come mine won't actually? Mine just like stuck. It's in limbo. It's in limbo. How about yours?
I'm refreshing.
And you are mild. Like Ivory soap. That's what Clarence says. He said that beast man, he's refreshing and he is mild-mannered like Clark Kent.
Squirt.
We got it?
It's still refreshing.
Mine won't come back. Well, what was the last one that you had?
I had 896.
Oh, 896. Well, you know the way that this thing is loaded up, that everybody is jamming on it.
It's fair to say it's over 900 because it won't load.
It won't load? Yeah, that's what Clarence said. You have trouble reloading. A momentous day on the Neil Rogers Show, ladies and gentlemen. In spite of all the problems at this radio station, in spite of the inept management, all these other things, I think we can safely say,
we did it!
Bye! The Neil Rogers Show on 560 WQAM, Miami, Fort Lauderdale.
I don't have a penis. I've never had one, I swear.
Absolutely.